Go for it.
Welcome everyone to the Faded Connections Path of Exile Community podcast number 24, the PoE talk with Balor&Mage and Catmaster. Today we're joined by the wonderful Crouching Tuna and SlipperyJim up there, and we're gonna talk, of course, about everything that's been going on throughout the last 3 months where we didn't get a podcast together. Maybe we can quickly go into what happened there, and then we want to do a small recap of the Metamorph League, what we think with Metamorph going core, kind of summarize our thoughts, and then at length discuss the new league mechanic coming up in Delirium, the new skills, as well as the cluster jewels, and the Atlas changes that are, meeting somewhat mixed opinions in the community. So, welcome to our guests. We'll start with SlipperyJim. You haven't been on here in a while. How have you been, dude?
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. My life is definitely not in shambles. No, I'm just kidding. It's great. How are you? I got nothing to say. What do you want? Leave me alone.
How's the shack life?
Oh, it's terrible. It's like there's mold coming in through the ceiling, and I have to. Luckily, I painted it with this paint that's like super shiny, so I can't really sleep at night because I can't turn off the fucking LEDs on my CPU fan. Who the hell even wants LEDs on your CPU fan? And like it reflects off the ceiling directly into my eyes while I'm lying in bed. But it's super glossy paint, so that's okay because I can clean off the mold really easily.
Seems fair. And any games that you've been playing? Just Path of Exile, or actually branching out into diversity?
Diversity. Ugh. I played Noita and Particle Fleet Emergence, and I reinstalled Battlefield 4, and I reinstalled War Thunder, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed, and fuck Sekiro. I'm never going back into Sekiro. That game's terrifying. And I played Tarkov. Tarkov's pretty good. Let's play Tarkov.
Yeah, Tarkov is pretty good. Have you played a lot of it? Gazzy, I know, played a lot of it, and some other PoE streamers.
Not enough to be good. I'm shit. But that's great. Because I just prey on people who are shitter. Or I team kill and steal all their stuff.
Yikes.
There's a party feature in that. You can just party up with strangers. And all it is agreeing to get team killed so you lose all your stuff. So you just party up with a stranger, and then it's like quick draw, and then whoever wins gets a whole bunch of free loot. I don't think it's intended to do that, but it's how it works.
I definitely have to try it out.
It's terrifying.
Fun guy.
If you have friends, it's great, but if you do solo play, it's terrifying. Maybe I get scared way too easily, but solo any game is terrifying. Like Crisis. Sorry.
Crisis, the game.
Crisis. You know that got advertised as like an FPS game, and it was full of aliens. That shit's terrifying. Yeah. I'm a wimp.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
The first one's so good.
I had to uninstalled Amnesia in the menu because the music was too scary. I can't handle
Amnesia
anything.
It's fucking pretty spooky. Let's be real.
It is. Fuck that.
Yeah. But
Crisis. You've been trying any games, Tuna?
I played Wolfen as well. Sorry. Go
me? I don't really play games. I only fucking play PoE. Like I play Risk of Rain off stream, but that's like just a chill with like the homies. And I only play one hero. It's Huntress, because that's the only one I'm good at. And
because you don't have to aim.
Exactly, yeah. And also you just stack shape classes. I like ZHP builds in PoE and in Risk of Rain. So, but yeah, I basically just only play PoE. I have like 1,300 hours this league, and I went from just grinding Metamorph to just grinding, like learning how to go fast, basically.
Oh, so you're gonna blast off with the next league start?
Not really. I'm never gonna get to the point where I'm actually like as fast as the racers, but like just trying to get good. Like it's all about like the mechanics of like going fast. I think like doing your micromanagement on the go, knowing where you're going in the sense of like gems that you got to pick up and currency that you need and like all that sort of stuff. Just so I can get like good time to maps, and then when I'm in maps, then actually get the strat going. So I don't break my Atlas essentially, since that's like a big thing now.
Well, a lot of the high ladder pushers, or like the people who are pushing ladder early league, aren't even the fastest racers in the first 48 hours, but they take their time to set up their characters, set up their Atlas, and then when they reach a certain point, they just like outpace everyone else.
I think a good example of that is probably Crying, right? You're just like
possibly
not the fastest racer, but then he gets into like the 100 push and he just laps everyone. He's insane.
I've definitely seen that. Also, that one friend of Cat, where they pushed together. What was his name? Kane. Kane was also an incredibly strong racer, like late game, but like early game through the act progression on early mapping, he wasn't really that fast, and he didn't care to be fast there.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's like the only reason I have demis in my stash at all. It's just because of really long races that I can go at a decent pace in the end game, and then just stay up longer than everyone else and wait for them to die. Like, I just need more sleep than most people. I need less sleep than most people. So if I can just go at a pretty decent pace and just keep it up day after day after day after day, all I have to do is not die, and everyone in front of me will hopefully die. That's
IRL.
That's.
What do you play?
I mean,
hardcore?
they stay up long enough.
Oh,
But yeah, hardcore. There's no point in
Fucking
racing in
insane,
softcore. Come on.
It's true.
I got a demi in softcore, so bleh. Sorry, that's my only one. I'm never getting another one.
I think ever
Fuck
since I
racing.
started playing, there hasn't been demis. Well, aside for the synthesis race, but in the synthesis race, all I wanted to do was bring bases over back to synthesis. So like basically the reset allowed you to like snipe some really cheap bases, and I bought like I think like 600 annulment orbs early league, and that was all I did. I just bought annulment orbs
Man, I
so
hope
that
they
I could
bring
craft
back
in
like
synth league.
synthesis items. Like,
Was
the
that in the
rares and
softcore
stuff.
version of the event, or did you go to
Yeah.
hardcore so you could rip them to the?
No. I just in the flashback, right? Because like you would merge down to the league for like a few days after.
Oh, right. No, because I was thinking it was in the end of the league anyway. So yeah, in the
Yeah.
end it would end up impermanent.
Right,
don't know.
because I think
And-
annulment were like 60C, right? But like at the start of the league, I started buying them for like 6C.
Yeah.
Do you play in standard?
I don't play in standard, no. But I just
Or
wanted
do you
to
just
make good
amass
bases
currency
and stuff.
for memes?
No. I like actually like I just try to spend all my currency these days, which actually is like really difficult. I can never really find things to spend currency on.
Oh, I got memes that are going to cost so much money for
I
them
can
fun.
spend it.
Yeah, I'll take some money. No, fuck Balor, give it to me.
Well, in standard, you want to do shit in
Yeah.
standard.
Oh.
I'll keep
I
that in
don't
mind
even
next
log
time,
into
so I can
standard.
actually like keep some currency. Because yeah, I always try my best. But like also like you have no idea how many like insane items I got. Like stash tabs upon stash tabs of just like near mirror worthy items, or even mirror tier items that I've mirrored in the past or whatever.
I've got so many fishing items.
Fishing items? Yeah, that's something I wanted to actually like look into. And there's this whole gang that's doing this whole research on fishing and stuff as well. I want an angler's plate. Something I should get.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, we did get told somewhat recently that there was more to fishing than had actually been triggered in game.
Yeah.
Who said that?
No,
Like,
we know
more
that for a
available.
long time, right?
Who said that though? Source.
Chris,
When?
either at or right around ExileCon time. I forget
Source.
whether it was. I forget
Timestamp?
whether it was in person or not.
Oh. Yeah.
I forget
Nah,
if it
you
was in
can just
person or
source
not. But
better
someone told me that was like meaningful. I'm pretty sure it was Chris. It might not have been.
Can't trust him.
Well, Chris, you can trust. Bex is the one that's not trustworthy.
Can't trust any of them.
Top tier
Someone
memes, to be fair.
said
That someone
been
said is not a
something in it.
source.
Okay.
What are you, Reddit? Sorry.
There's been some big threads though, like some
Someone-
people actually getting super
Yeah.
into it now.
Nah, someone that I trusted, but can't remember who exactly for sure it was now.
Oh,
But
that's
someone I
totally
believed
legit.
said it. All right.
Oh yeah.
Someone I believed said there's stuff to do with fishing that has never been triggered in game.
Wow. Where do I,
I
even
don't-
start farming?
I can't. I wish I could remember more. That just sounds very unreliable. I can't remember anything else.
Oh, you could fill a whole Wikipedia page with that type of information.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen the wiki, right? A lot of pages are like that, to be fair.
I was
Anyway,
comparing his usefulness to the Wikipedia. It's outdated. No offense. People like some of them are really passionate, but it's mostly garbage.
Well, that's the problem. Is some pages on the wiki are 100% on point because somebody who cares has updated that exact page about that exact mechanic. But the wiki's so goddamn large that
Yeah, there's so much.
Can't rely on it.
yeah, there's a lot of outdated stuff.
I think I got IP banned once because I tried to scrape the wiki. But it has a whole bunch of links to the actual Path of Exile website. So instead of scraping the wiki, I ended up scraping the Path of Exile website, and then I got IP banned, and I didn't know why my PoE trade macro wasn't working.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Slippery Jim thing to do. Always slipping around, Slippery Jim. Holy moly!
I am lurking in that fishing Discord though, in case they ever discover anything. I'll be right on it. They've got sources, unlike this guy. No sources. What a weirdo.
Speaking of this guy, this guy has also been branching out, right? Balor, you've been playing a lot of other games this off season. Is there anything that you wanna mention before we go into our Metamorph review?
Well, I feel like we should mention Wolcen just because it's an ARPG, but maybe it's not worth mentioning until it's out of beta.
Wolcen.
Oh, that's a low blow. That's
Yeah,
a $40 low blow. $50?
Wow.
That one's all for you to bash because I haven't looked into Wolcen at all. I just read what other people said about it, but I don't want to give any secondhand information.
Look, I really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of good things. For a game at fresh release, it's content rich. There's a lot to do. Not enough to entertain you for a whole 3 months, but like for a fresh released game, there's enough there. It just it's in a beta. It's not. I know they say it's released, but it's not. It's in a beta. It needs another 3 months of balance.
Can I make a really shit analogy?
Bugs and
you know how we were talking about Crisis? So, I can and I will. Fuck you. You know how like in Crisis that you could pick up turtles and just yeet them across the ocean and that was fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This Wolcen's like Crisis. It looks pretty. They spend all their money on making that game look pretty, but you can't yeet turtles across the ocean. There's no depth. It's shit. No. So I mean, it's a great game. It's going to get better. Sure, it's not great. I mean, what am I? I'm lying. I'm sorry. It's fine. I hope it can get better, but it looks pretty. That's about it. Sorry.
I'm suggesting to people when they're like, should I buy Wolcen? I'm like, look, if you enjoy being in open betas and stuff, then it's okay. But if you don't and you want like a fully released game, I'm going to come back at the end of next league and see if it's better then because I already own it. But otherwise, at least 3 to 6 months before bothering to buy it is my suggestion.
Is it on GOG?
Because like, I don't think so.
Because if it was, I would have used their 30-day refund and refunded that fucking piece of shit game. Sorry.
Yeah, I keep going, 3 to 6 months, wait for it. Give it a chance later when they've got a chance to actually like fix it into a good working functional game, which hopefully they'll do. I don't know if that's just optimism on my part. They might not. We might get to 6 months and be like, oh, look, still shit. Oh, well, what a pity. That could have been good. But, you know.
I think like the fundamental systems are not there. That's what because I was following Wolcen since the like early development as well, like looking at everything that they were doing because it looked pretty good, right? But then like they just kept doing these closed systems and like because I'm a big fan of like sandbox type gameplay where you can just like you let the players take the reign and this sort of stuff and like it's just another one. Like to me it just looks like a shittier version of Diablo 3, which is already pretty shitty. Like, well, it's just the reskin. Like, we're not gonna let you do anything. Closed systems, trading sucks. Item modification sucks. Crafting sucks.
I mean, item modification was really good until they patched it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They had that one really fun bug, and I'm like, oh god, I got to work towards this. I was like, holy shit, that looks like an amazing bug. I'm gonna actually reinstall the game and grind towards that. Oh, they patched it. Okay, I'm gonna uninstall it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I gotta stop saying sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry.
You might think it's better than Diablo 3, but like unreleased Diablo 3 wasn't that bad either. Like if you think about it, like when Diablo 3 was released, everyone was like, yeah, it's not that bad, and then it became bad because of time, right?
I mean, to be fair, a week after Diablo 3 was released and people could actually log into the game, then they were like, it's okay.
Yeah, I suppose. It's true.
That's one of the things that I was trying to tell people off for, was like people were angry at the Wolfen release and how like poorly the release date went. And I was like, you guys remember Diablo 3, right? Like when it first launched from like a massive company. It was like Era 43 or something.
Yeah. But Diablo was also like
that
the best-selling game of all time at the time as well. So it's, I don't know. It's not like you can excuse Blizzard, like not at all. Like Blizzard is a garbage company, but at the same time, it's almost like the capacity of players, like how many players were trying to log in at the same time. It's like it doesn't compare anywhere near.
But they went. So like I got a lot of problems with Wolfen not being good, and I'm hoping in 6 months' time it will be. But the release and their bad like servers and stuff, that's something I 100% forgave. They basically had no more than 2,000 people logged in at a time during the entire beta. And then in the one day before release, sold like 150,000 more copies. And then on release day, had 100,000 people log in at the same time. And they had never had more than 2. And I'm like, okay, that's like clearly way more than they expected, and tons of them came in like the 24-hour period before launch, and they didn't have time to prepare for it. They weren't ready. Small, literally actually small indie company, first big game release. I'm like 100% on the forgive train for all of the server problems. The game itself, that's a different question, but I'm 100% behind forgiving all the server problems.
Fair enough.
The story was hilarious. I'll give it that. Like it was like an 80 campy, like what was that Far Cry game that happened? The dragon one? It was basically that except an ARPG. Like there was so many like cinematics and no and screaming and then and then blood and then like I can't die because I'm too angry to die. Boss fights and stuff. That was amazing.
I'm too angry to die.
Yeah, no. Oh, I had so much fun in that story compared to PoE story. Like, wow.
The story was like, very, very engaging.
The backgrounds and the electric turtles, like good world building. Shame about the end game.
None of the end game systems existing.
Yeah,
Like I said, we'll come back in 3 to 6 months, and then they get a second chance to like wow me. Basically, you've got 6 months to fix your game up, and if I come back and it's good. Great. We need more good ARPGs to play. If I come back in 6 months and
money.
Yeah, like if I come back in 6 months and it's still shit, then that's sad, I guess. But oh well.
And next time around, I'm also gonna jump on the train and give it a full chance. It's just I heard so many negative things, and I'm someone who easily gets frustrated with non-functional games with like bugs and stuff. I would make a shit beta tester.
The bugs are okay. They're not as bad as it's like.
I was getting frustrated with Last Epoch, and I thought Last Epoch was pretty good when I tried it.
I haven't played that. Wolfen's my third ARPG. It just feels really empty. Like you walk so slow. It takes 10 minutes to walk to the next pack of mobs, and then you kill them. You're like, well, got to start this Lord of the Rings journey all over again to get to the next pack. Got to walk all the way over to the next pack of mobs that spawns exactly 10 meters or 100 meters away. I don't know. It just feels really slow. Maybe I should get more movement speed. I don't know. It just it's not thick. All the FPS that the game can afford is spent on your thick thighs and not the mob count. I don't know.
Oh well.
Pack size. Give me more pack size. Fuck yeah.
I do hope they do something good with it. But if anything, like if there's one game that I do have hopes for, it is Last Epoch. That actually looks like it's gonna be a pretty deep game.
Have you actually played it, Tuna? I haven't watched you play it.
I haven't played it, no. Like I've been just waiting and like following all the development stuff and watching like Carve play it and watching him talk about it and stuff and explain the systems. And
which one's that?
But I generally don't like playing games like pre-release because I think it really spoils the game for me. I want to experience it when it's done. Otherwise, I'll get like some prejudice about how it looks shitty and the models are all crap. So
I've done maybe 400 or 500 hours of that last epoch. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not ready yet, so I don't suggest people
Yeah,
play it
yeah,
unless they like
that's why I'm,
betas.
like,
But
trying to save
they're
myself.
moving through the beta so quick. Like every time you look at it again, they've done a bunch of new stuff again.
Right.
Like it just keeps getting better constantly. They're doing a really good job. That will eventually be quite good when they're ready.
Gives me so much reassurance to know that Carve is working on it as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to say
Yeah.
that as well. It really is a big feeling, like that like a big feeling of it can't go absolutely wrong. Like there's always going to be that safety net of Carve saying, "No, guys, you can't do that."
He doesn't seem like he's this sort of guy as well to like beat around the bush. He just put his foot down and be like, "Nah, this is bullshit." Fix it.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better. Yeah, last epoch is definitely hype. But that now we're all pretty much caught up with whatever we've been up to. Let us talk about the last 3 months of the Metamorph League and the rich experience that we had fighting these Metamorphs. Do you think the design idea of combining different bosses, different uniques into one monster for a high risk, high reward kind of scenario, do you think that it was well realized, that it came out the way that you thought it was, thought out by the developers? You think they reached their goals?
I think they reached their goal, but I don't think it turned out how I wanted it to. From the generic description of take all the bosses that you hate and combine them together into a giant mega clusterfuck boss fight that's going to be real fun to... Oh, it's not, it one-shot me? Okay. I mean, sure. It's exactly what GG wanted. It's super easy. It was super easy for them to implement because it's how they've built their game and how the bosses work and how the animations work and how everything queues up. You could slap that lead together in probably like an hour, and they probably did. But like, yeah, it was great. I liked it.
I was really disappointed by the actual laboratory, because the laboratory was like, just like as soon as I did my challenge, I just literally took all the organs out of my filter. Like, I thought it was really boring, like mechanically, like how you had to like sort out through like 3 DAM tabs of like things that you could potentially combine together to like drop an exalt or something, and it's just like you're spending so much time in there, and then the bosses are super easy as well compared to like when they are in maps because they're modless, right?
Yep.
And also like I play generally kind of like pretty powerful characters, so like for me Metamorph was just like another mob. It didn't feel like a boss fight. It was either like I one-shot them or they one-shot me, just because of the way that damage works in Path of Exile. Like if you have like 700 shotgunning orbs just coming towards you and you don't kill him before he actually puts that attack out, then he dies or you die, right? So it just kind of felt like either a loot pinata or a death pinata, like that hits you back for the most part. It was really frustrating for me as well that like freezing didn't work for like the first month or something, because like first we had the taste of like being able to freeze them, and then all of a sudden like it just would never get hindered in any kind of way, like, and that was kind of annoying, especially on League Start when your character is like really not so good. But eventually they fix that. They always come around and fix things, so that's really good on GG to do that. But I don't know, like for me it was kind of underwhelming, because I like leagues that have sort of, rather than just being like, oh, here it is, like you just kill this thing and that's it, and there's no like real like progression,
Discovery. Yeah.
right? Like at least Betrayal had some kind of progression, right? You get to you do your board, you do all that thing, you do the discovery, and there's some kind of min-maxing to it. Whereas like with Metamorph, like the min-maxing is like just stack 5 currency icons together, and that's as much as you can min-max, right?
Did you just always pick whatever had the highest reward and then be surprised Pikachu faces to why you got one shot? Or were you like going, oh, I can't stack 5 quick things at once, otherwise I'm going to get murdered so fast? Or you're like, nah, give me all them currency ones.
I'm a soft
Like,
core in scrub core, you know, like, so I just either always pressed left, or like what I would always do is I would press all left, and then I would then pick the currency ones if there were, and otherwise I would just leave it as is. And I would always fill
I'm
the
just
bar.
wondering, like, everyone was complaining about getting one shot, but like, it's like if you could instantly explode the monolith, which what everyone did in Legion League. It's like if you could, the whole thing was it's a big area and you kill however much you think you'll be able to kill again. But in Metamorph, I bet you every single player was just like, I want all the rewards. Bring oh my god, I'm dead. Why am I dead? Oh, GGG overtuned this mechanic that I could easily activate the hardest content and I'm dying and I don't know why.
That's the thing, right? Like I think this league was the best league in a very, very long time for hardcore. Because you had direct control over it. Now, if people were choosing not to take control and were just picking whatever the reward was and never checking what they did, if that was you at all, you don't get to complain about it being unbalanced. You literally made a mob.
They're still complaining.
Killed you. Well, that's their problem. Let them complain.
Okay.
I can just ignore them.
I got 100.
You literally made the thing.
Like doing all metamorphs, and metamorph was never the thing that actually killed me. Surprisingly, it was always just like, what did I die to actually? Well, to be fair, I was doing T19s, so actually that was pretty scuffed. Because in T19s you could just get one tap by anything. I think it was like a Mammoth I got one shot by. He just like shotgun me, and the second death was like something else, like some random shit. I probably looked away from my screen and walked in bears or something. But like metamorph wise, like yeah, I mean, for me, the solution was always have enough damage. Like I had a really good character that could literally just like stun lock them because it did so much damage, and it also had like 9k HP. So even if they hit me, it was like never really too much of a problem. That was pretty chill.
Like, do you pick what build you're going to play? And this is to all of you because Catmaster hasn't said anything in ages. Do you look at the league and go, oh, this looks like a great league for boss killers, Metamorph, so I'm going to play a boss killer and I'm going to have a fun time? Or do you go, man, I really haven't played bows. I'm going to play a melee bow in this because that seemed, Math will build 4K life.
Well,
that's
you look for an overlap.
Boss killing league.
You look for an overlap between the two circles of what is going to be good next league and what something that I haven't played in a while that I really want to play again. Right? I mean, don't force yourself to play something that you don't want to play. Don't go super hard out of your comfort zone and frustrate yourself. But you definitely also don't want to go with something that's just straight up incompetent at for doing the content that you are going to do in the league.
Like, if you give yourself a handicap and then you get throttled by a metamorph, I think it's your fault. Yeah. Right? Okay, yep. Just making
sort of. I mean, I can quickly go over my experience. I played Toxic Rain League Start, Toxic Rain Pathfinder, and I thought it was a really well-rounded build. But the problem is that I played it always very, very scared because solo self-found hardcore. And so oftentimes I would get into a situation where I couldn't see the metamorph exactly because it was off screen or around the corner. And then they would launch some sort of deadly attack. And then I would walk right into it without having seen it. And then I realized that I became a lot better at metamorphing around mid-league when I embraced the OP face roll and started a Summoner Juggernaut that managed to stay alive until, today. I didn't die.
Did you play zombies?
Nah, actually Juggernaut with first Herald of Agony and then turned it into Herald of Purity with double Holy Relics for clear.
Did anyone here play zombies?
I had one zombie character because I was delving at the first bit of the league, and then I was just like, okay, I need like one character that all it does is pick up soul fight, and I give myself like a 2 exalt budget, and I made like a 11k HP summoner, and then just it's called Soul Fight Eater, and I just ran around and picked up Soul Fight.
Soul Fight Eater. I made one, and then I realized that I didn't. It just wasn't as strong as the minion build I was running already, so I just gave up on it.
So I really disliked it.
Well, everyone's running the necro zombie thing. It's made super meta somehow. Dominating Blow and Herald of Purity are better. They do more damage on less of a budget. They're tankier. They're red minions. They're more fun to play because I'm active about it. They're better.
How's the clear? Because that's the thing that I felt with zombies is just like
way better.
So sluggish. Like you're just like running around and things are like kind of dying around you, but it just felt so bad. Honestly, playing a zombie build
for bossing, it's way better on the Dominating Blow.
Like with zombies,
I hope they nerf Baron into the ground.
Like it's actually stupid.
Reference. Like destroy it, just decimate it. Oh, It's gonna be so good to read all the salty tears. Or just
I kind
destroy
of like
Necro.
don't really care too much what
Yeah.
people play, but some
I
things
mean-
that are just like they just feel bad. That like I almost feel bad that people like are feeling like they're forced to play this garbage.
I don't know. I don't know if Baron's even a problem. Like, if you use Baron and you've got 1,000 strength, it's not even really good. In fact, if you just invested that into a not Baron version of the same build, it would be better. You
Fair.
I'm not
literally have
saying,
to
like-
push up to near 2,000 before it's actually worth wearing a Baron. And by that time, you've invested so much currency in it that I'm okay with your build being that strong.
Suppose,
Right?
yeah.
Like, there's no problem with high investment, high power.
I'm not saying it
I don't
needs
think Baron's the
fixing.
problem.
I'm not saying it's like broken and I'm just saying if 30% of the player base found a build that worked with Wall of Brambles, I'd want GGG to destroy Wall of Brambles purely to say fuck the population for picking one thing, spread out, or we're gonna keep killing things you love. That's all I'm saying.
enough.
Just destroy Necro, kill it. Just for one league,
Spread
just kill
out.
it.
Spread out, or we're gonna keep killing things you love.
Do it. Take it out the back and put it down.
GGG is there with a puppy, like
The Necro was
Like
really
this puppy.
predominant last league, and then they didn't really get enough of a nerf last league, or this league. So we
Destroy
can
it.
expect some sort
They
of
better.
nerf. I mean, a little bit of tap on the head. The thing is, we don't know to what extent there's going to be new powerful stuff in the upcoming expansion, and they're gonna up the range on difficult content, right? By adding new. I mean, this is already going into the next section, but by adding.
Don't even reference the sections. Just let it flow, baby. Go on. Yeah, do it.
Thanks for telling me how to run my podcast. Thanks.
I'll keep going if you want. I charge by the hour. You'll get my bill.
What was I saying? By adding that Delirium influence that can make literally all content in the game that is already there in maps harder and add new harder monsters to it that are more rewarding, it's gonna the expectations of the average build are gonna be way higher next league. So maybe that's enough of an indirect nerf to summoners if they don't buff them, along with the other new powerful stuff that they're gonna add. But I don't know. I would definitely not mind if they get nerfed.
Destroy them. Sorry, did that key in? Sorry, I was supposed to whisper that.
Did they really have to destroy bows though? That's one thing I don't understand.
It's a bow league. Didn't they buff bows, Capcom?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah,
Wasn't
weren't
everyone playing Ranger?
What was
That-
the
that
promoted
felt-
archetype?
That felt so uncalled for. Like the whole
It
bow
really
thing
did,
was just
though.
like, what the like I don't know, man. I don't
Like-
it felt so bad actually.
When I first started, I was like, tornado shot nerf. And I was like, fair enough. They're doing a bow league. They want us to use all the other bow skills. We've
Yeah,
been using
yeah.
tornado shot forever. I'm happy to see tornado shot die because we're going to get all the other bow skills in a usable fashion, right?
All two of them.
Right? Nope.
Wrong.
Yep.
Also, they
Wrong.
rage-baited us on Galvanic Arrow. It's like, it's shotguns. Everyone's like, whoa. And then, like, they didn't even tell anyone, but it didn't shotgun. That's pretty fun.
Right, hang on.
But
I've got to let
they-
somebody
they
in
really
my front
did
door.
us-
I'll be back in just
they
one
did
sec.
us dirty with bows for sure.
Wait, what? I didn't. It didn't shotgun?
No, it
It
doesn't.
said it
shotgun,
was
like,
going to
what-
shotgun and then it didn't
the-
shotgun?
Yeah, but like, basically, like all the proj were supposed to shotgun, right? Like if you
Yeah.
stack GMP on it, the proj was supposed to shotgun.
Not the
but-
cones, but just the proj.
Yeah, but like, so it would have been actually incredibly strong, right? For single target, just
Right.
stack up and point blank and shotgun with your proj, but it doesn't do that. The proj don't shotgun, but
Doesn't work as
like-
advertised.
yeah, the cone does. And I think what they were talking about, because they said like they were talking about, it used to be like shrapnel shot or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they said like we're reworking shrapnel shot. This was an XLCon, but actually what he was talking about was shrapnel ballista, right?
Oh,
Galvanic
okay. Only shrapnel ballista does that.
Shrapnel ballista shotguns, but not galvanic arrows. So it's like, and ballistas are, I'm sorry to say, they're like garbage if you use them on their own. Like the only thing they're good for is for stacking explosive arrow stacks. Like at the moment, like it's just, I don't know, because they have like such a long activating like period. It's like any totem build essentially.
They need the risk of rain treatment. They need legs so they can walk.
Right,
Minions,
or
minion
trigger
ballistas.
instantly, right? You put them down. boom.
Skeletons with ballista crossbows. I'd play that. Oh. Like if you could, you know how like when you do summon skeleton, you get like all of them. If you could just pick specific types. Oh.
Yeah, I've
Give me
always
the
wanted a
Scalian
type of
options.
minion that you could link to a spell gem or something. Like you could have a spell totem, but then in form of a minion, which is kind of stupid because like they already
You just
said
want to
that.
be an aura bot? You just don't have friends. That's what's happening. You
We
don't have
told
anyone to play
Spectre,
with.
dude.
Shit, you can see right through my facade.
I've been there. That's why I
So-
played Dancing Duo. Because I'm the aura
So-
bot and they do the damage.
So just real quick on those ballistas,
Ah,
those would have been good if they didn't have a 50% less attack speed. on
Yeah.
them for no good reason at all.
And
I've-
if
get
they had
two of 'em.
instant activation, right? Like so you
Because
put them down, boom,
there's-
and then they have
So
the-
there's 2 waiting periods that are linked to every totem, ballistas and regular totems. There's the arming time, or what's it, placement speed,
Yeah.
which is like just from when you click the button until the thing is fully set up and ready to go.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then-
placement, and then the arming time is the other.
No,
Or,
well, that's just all done by placement speed. But once it's ready to go, it acts as if it's already finished an attack, and you have to wait the full time between that attack that didn't actually happen finishing and for the next one to start. So it looks like they have a really long arming time, but it's actually 2 separate things, and it's attack speed that affects it the most.
wow.
So
I'm learning.
while play-wise, it's the same, it doesn't make a difference. It still feels like you put a totem down, you wait 8 fucking years for it to attack. But what it is it's an attack speed problem. Because we
Is
can
there-
get plenty of placement speed, and it's all just the wait
Right.
for attack speed. And because they went 50% less attack speed on it, it's garbage.
I don't make builds. I steal them. Is there a modifier that increases how long your totem stays up for?
No,
No.
they just have a
Okay.
default timer. Yeah.
I'll keep that. to
Does it
myself.
not scale with skill effect duration? thought it did.
Scaling skill effect duration is like you have to invest so heavily into it though.
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure
just
it
saying like
doesn't
there's
either.
builds or skills with which you do it by default. Like on my animate weapon character on the Chains of Command that I've been playing alongside the Juggernaut for speedy clears. Yeah, I'm so happy that I pick up both duration clusters because my Val Molten Shell per default is 20 plus seconds.
I've never bothered to try and scale totem duration because I've always left the area before they run out anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you're a softcore
Duration.
scrub, like me, and you die a lot, maybe like me, I'm not saying I die a lot, but softcore scrubs, you know how they nerfed like golems killing Shaper? Like you die on the floor and you stay up and your golems
Right.
don't do damage. Turns out they didn't do that with totems. So if you slap your totems down and then die, and they have high DPS and a shit ton of they're going to hang around for time, which I don't know how to stack, they'll just kill Shaper while you're on the floor dead. There you go, softcore tip from Jim. You're welcome.
There
I
are
gotta-
3 nodes
don't
on the tree
trap
that have totem
citizens.
duration.
Fuck yes. Just need to figure out some other way to stack it because 10 seconds isn't enough when you have shit DPS.
Yeah.
So hey, what's the league called? Delirium. You know, how I
yeah,
delve-
we're gonna go into the Delirium. I just quickly want to know your opinion on the new endgame that was added in Conquerors as well, because we haven't talked about that
Right.
at all. Like, although now I ruined the perfect segue into Delirium.
No.
But I
Every
want to know:
time-
have you
every
thought
time
serious?
Every time you give
Slippery?
a topic, I'm like, everyone sits there quietly waiting for you to finish, and I'm like, am I the one who do I have to start first? Because I'll
Have you
break
killed
through the
Cirrus,
storm,
Slippery
having-
Jim?
Yeah. And then they sit there and they're about to say something. I'm like, oh shit, maybe.
Did
I
you
should
do
let
a
someone
Cirrus
else
kill?
first for once? What?
A Cirrus kill. Did you awake
Have you
yet?
killed it?
I killed one, and I'm like,
Which
I've
awakening
finally
level?
done it. Uninstall the game. I'm done with this league. I lost all motivation as soon as I killed it. I was like, I could kill 100 of these things. No, fuck that. And then they nerf how you get it. You know how? Okay. Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about, but I can't because your stupid fucking order of shit to talk about. It's at the very bottom. Hey, you know how they changed Conquerors and everyone's upset for some reason? It's a good change. Oh, it's good for all the casuals, and all the casuals are the ones complaining that it got changed, and all the people that are currently abusing ways to immediately spawn Conquerors and get turn like 3 T1 maps into a free T16 map into a 10 T16 map
Yep.
drops and influences and magic find and then exalt printing. All the people that are currently doing that can't do it on the new system. So why are all the casuals that are benefiting from it the ones complaining, and all the people that are secretly hoping that didn't happen because they're going to lose all their money-making strats not complaining? You know?
I mean, you're basing this on Reddit. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I sometimes be on the casuals for this as well. But like, Reddit are not casual. Reddit is Reddit, and they're just like, I don't know. To some extent, they just like they'll just find anything to latch on and complain about. But at the same time, like most of their conclusion are based upon like they're just boomers, man. They don't like change. Okay, that's all it is. And like when it comes,
I don't
down
like
to,
change.
Thinking that they're getting
That's
nerfed.
why I use credit card.
When it comes down to thinking they're getting nerfed, they just shit the bed, right? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like the same thing with like for me, like the whole thing about like how they're like, I enjoy variety mapping, and I think that like people shouldn't have an unfair advantage, you know, with like because they're like target farming something. It's like people can still do that, but like now you literally can't do that unless you've not bricked your atlas, right? So it's even more barrier to entry to that. And they're still like their argument is still about like how they had an unfair advantage or like some shit like that, right? It's just like,
well, now the advantage is
like
even more unfair.
Exactly, and they felt like they were
the
forced
stratus,
into doing the optimal thing,
like,
and it's just like,
didn't you say your strat for Delirium is literally you're going to try and not brick your atlas this time?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not completing any maps that I don't want to run.
People who don't know not to brick their atlas are going to be the ones who then next league are going to do the thing to not brick their atlas.
That's a good cue. Because we quickly need to catch everyone up. So, like, a lot of the ongoing conversation right now about the upcoming Atlas changes focuses
Can I go back to my segue?
The fact that cartographer seals have been removed when they redid the Atlas, so people cannot uncomplete their maps anymore, meaning that once you completed a map on your Atlas, it will forever be completed. You cannot uncomplete it like you previously were able to, meaning you cannot set up your Atlas for a specific map farm where you only get like 1 or 2 maps of one tier, and so you can basically run them forever and infinitely sustain them more or less, or like just ping pong between the maps. You can't do that unless you know, take care to never complete one of those maps, which is kind of silly. And
excluding the Horizon Orb bases.
But the Horizon Orb bases are like maps that you might not necessarily want to run as well, right?
What if GGG just said, sorry, Balor, fuck you, I'm talking. What if GGG just said, hey, our solution to this is we're not going to change Horizon Orbs. You get the specific maps that we choose Horizon Orbs can turn into as your base farming ones. If you want to farm one thing, here they are, else go fuck a landmine.
That's scoffed.
That'd fix everything. And Reddit have more things to complain about.
That wouldn't fix anything, but
it would.
I think they will fix it because we've gotten to the point where people who know what they're doing for the start of this league will be using a Python script, just like I am, that reads their client.txt and then flashes warnings all over the goddamn screen if I enter one of the maps that I'm not allowed to do, so that I don't do it. Because if I do one of them once, I brick my Atlas for the entire league. And when it gets to the point,
into solo self-on, but
yeah, if it gets to the point where I have to run a Python script to make sure that I don't run the wrong map, then we've got a problem, and that's not going to last. It might make it through this league, but it will not make it through to the next league after Delirium. Because here's how that's going to play out. I'm going to do it. All the races are going to do it. 90% of the streamers who care about things like efficiency and stuff are going to be doing that. For everyone asking for link the script, I'm going to make a video on it.
Did you make the script?
I'll get scripts. No, but someone did.
Have you checked
and now I'm using it. Yes, it's all open. It's just Python. You can just open it.
I'm gonna like add some
siphoning details.
Because you talk about efficiency, right?
Like, so here's what's just real quick. This is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to do it that cares about efficiency, and then everyone who hasn't figured it out before the league start is going to come into my stream or someone else's stream, or one of the big guys that are doing it, and they're going to look at it and be like, "Oh, this is so nice. How have you got only these 3 maps that are really nice to run. How come you've got hundreds of them? And they'll be like, oh, well, I didn't brick my atlas. I knew what I was doing. I planned it all from the word go. I've got this script stopping me from running wrong maps. And they'll go, oh, that's really cool. How can I do that? And the answer is, you can't. Get out. You've already ruined it. For the next 3 months, you cannot fix it. And that is fucking terrible. That is a horrible, horrible feeling for poor old fucking casual Joe who didn't know to do this to begin with. And now he looks at me or someone else doing this fantastic, only having the maps that I want, having these target farming maps where I'm flooded in the only good layout map that I wanted to run, and they're going to be really not pleased about it at all.
I'll be completely honest with you with the whole efficiency thing as well. Like, to me, like, efficiency matters to some extent, but I've always been like more about like I don't even care about efficiency, like how much currency per hour I'm making in maps. I just want to run a map that I enjoy. And like for me, it's like efficiency comes from enjoyment. Like if I don't enjoy playing a specific map, I'm gonna want to play it less, and playing less equals less currency overall, right? Which I guess in turn, that's sort of like how I see efficiency, right? It's like how much do I want to play this, and also like how Reddit is going on about how like instead of like making people farm specific maps, they should just make all maps good, which is like fundamentally just doesn't work because maps are based on like procedurally generated tile sets, which were created fucking decades ago, right?
Or you could just run every map, get all the completions, sell the ones you don't like, buy the ones you do like. Maybe trading's the real problem. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, who one buys the maps that you don't like though? Like people tend to like and dislike the same maps.
I'm gonna do that. Every map you don't like, get 100 of them for no reason. I'll buy them.
I was horizoning all my maps. Like this league, I would only run Promenade and Summit, and I hated both the maps, but they were the ones I hated the least, T16 wise. And every 2 days, like since I was map blasting, right? Every 2 days I would have to roll like 800 maps. I would spend around like 2,000 something horizon orbs, rolling all of them, and then rolling them from there, right?
How much did horizon orbs cost, more or less?
I would spend on average 4 to 5x every 2 days on horizon orbs, and
like if you have more than one map, you can usually list it at a higher price. Like say I've got 60 maps of one type, you could list it higher, or you could just list it at market price, and some guy's going to come along and buy them all out. So instead of selling random shit maps, just horizon them all into the base ones because of the glitch, and then sell them bulk, and then buy the maps you like.
Or even better idea, because people want Summit and they're gonna pay like, like T16s this league were like 2C each at the end, right? Summit people would still buy for like 10C, and so just don't complete anything except for like Canyon, and then sell them for 10C. And so that's also like in terms of money making. Like if you're a delver, you don't step much into maps and don't care about mapping. You're gonna make so many maps in delve. And you can't really drop adjacents either because there's no adjacent when you're delving. And so you're going to get thousands and thousands of canyons, and then people are just going to buy them for like 5 times the price.
I don't pay attention to what everyone's complaining about. Are people complaining preemptively about there's going to be no map drops, or are they complaining preemptively about the Conqueror system has changed?
They're scared about no map drops, which is actually so like...
But didn't GGG say they were gonna fix like maps not really dropping in Temple and not really dropping in Delve and not really dropping in Valside areas?
And frankly, the Awaken bonus for extra chance to drop 1 tier higher wasn't even the main reason we had better sustain. The Awakener bonus of % increased effective map mods is the main reason. We had higher quant and higher pack size on everything. That had more of an impact than the 1 level higher. And we've still got that, so we'll be fine.
What does the new league mechanic do? Does it...
adds a ton of monsters.
Is it like you clear out the map and then you touch it and then it adds new monsters, or is it you touch it first and then it makes everything harder?
You touch it first and walk away from it and clear the monster, because it also makes the existing monsters stronger and more rewarding. But I'm pretty sure if you happen to clear the map and then find it, it would also be fine. If you activated it then you just get the extra monsters, I suppose.
I was going to ask like 20 minutes ago. I'm going to keep talking, you can't stop me.
No, please.
You know how like Delve gets deep and it gets harder the deeper you go? Is this, it's a map-wide breach, basically. Is it the further out you go from the touching, it gets harder? Or is it like you touch it once and everything gets a default level of hard?
I haven't got any clear information on that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen at least things being said that hinted at that the longer it goes on, the harder it's going to get, because those encounters in maps are limited. Unlike the permanent Delirium effects that you can add to maps with the new Delirium currency that they're adding, these Delirium encounters that you start via a mirror that you encounter in the map are limited. So from what I've seen, what I've read, I think they get harder the longer they go on.
There was like a single throwaway line in one of the trailers was like, if you come up against something you can't do, you just back out, and that's when it starts the timer of like 5 seconds to get out of the fog. I don't know. You like the fog, by the way? It's just like, hey, black stuff and black stuff that kills you, and now it's like, hey, you want some gray stuff? We'll make your entire map gray.
The moment I saw the trailer, I tweeted out on on Twitter that I already hear Yoji's voice going with the from the league that brought you black stuff on black skill effects and black monsters league. Now everything's covered in fog. And then he did some very similar line in the trailer, so that was cool.
Is there a gray colorblind? Like, is this gonna mess with this particular group of people? I know there's like red, blue, red, green. Guess they're fucked.
I mean, there's like full colorblind, where everything's gray.
Well, they have the advantage. They've been living in that world their entire life. They were born in the gray. They were molded by it.
I like that it feels synthesis-like. I have to. It just came up on the screen again. The mirror and stuff. It looks like the same flavor as synthesis.
It looks like they're reusing assets. They had an entire presentation of that. It was really
possibly good. You know, GGG are really cost efficient, but what I'm trying to say is I really miss synthesis. I was recently watching some footage of myself playing for synthesis, and I was like, damn, that league. I was having a lot of fun in that, especially in the Flashback League. So I hope that this is going to recapture some of that. I don't know why, though, because mainly the memory nexus mapping is what I miss, but
Shaver's thinking about synthesis. That's like the league where it's like has a start, it like has like a clear progression, and then it has an ending, and then like after you finished everything, like exhausted everything with the memory nexus, then it's like now you can make like the most insane items, and just like there was so much to synthesis, and I'm so sad that they brought it back, like synthesist's literal like retarded cousin, right? Like it's so dumb how it's implemented now, I think.
I'm fine with the implementation. I just wish there was some way to the memory nexus, but I don't mind what is currently in the game from synthesis. I just wish I had some access to building my endgame mapping in a different way. I mean, I guess you are the same as I am there. You just don't really like only mapping. You just want to do some other stuff and push the boundaries there.
Because like mapping on League is like killing monsters is fun, but like you like those RPG elements where you could just nerd out and like go to other websites and it's like, how do I do this? You know, like fucking combining 12 different mods together to figure out like this stuff, and then putting live searches, and then waking up in the middle of the night because your live search popped. Like, I don't know. I'm just an Omega nerd.
Wait, did you do that?
I did that this league for synth rings. Like I do that all the time.
You wake up in the night, like set your like computer to be loud to wake you up.
Friends, no. Yeah, no, not only that. I have like auto refreshes on live search. I like sometimes like wait for Koreans to wake up and stuff, and I put my alarm on for when Koreans wake up so I could pick their items and stuff. Or like, how else are you gonna get the unique power charge? Like power charge with intimidate, circle of fear.
Are you scamming Koreans?
I'm not scamming them, dude. It's just that, like, if they come online and it's
buyout price, easy clap,
like 5 chaos.
How am I gonna live with myself if I wake up the next day and the ring is gone, dude?
If someone else scammed them instead.
It's not even about scamming. It's because it's like it's unique, you know. It's the only one on the market, and you won't see it again. So it's like,
I have messaged people on the forums before for items.
Yeah,
like you go, there's like the message button. You're like, look, this is the only one. It's been here for a week,
like, please come
and
back.
I just cannot get the guy online at the same time as me. I literally messaged them on the forum. Like, excuse me, sir, I need your items.
I've done that for Watcher's Eyes, and I think I've done that in the past for like some bases as well. Like like a triple suffix base. I was like, I need this.
And one guy replied to me and he was like, oh, I quit the league a week ago. And I was like, I know, the day you put up the one item I need. And he's like, hang on, I'll log in. And then he like tries to hand it to me for free. And I'm like, I can't take handouts. I can't. Just take my money. I know you've quit, but just take my money. I can't take handouts. I'm just really happy that you logged in and sold me the thing that I needed. Like, thank you.
Like some builds are so specific that you just want that perfect thing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like needless to say, I now have like an entire stash tab of power charge rings.
Right.
Nice,
So
nice.
one thing I want to mention about the fog. I'm like 75% sure that if you turn off post-processing, it'll just fucking disappear.
Yeah, probably.
What?
They said it
Well,
was like a post-processing effect and it won't
Yeah,
affect your
I'm like
FPS.
75% sure that if you just turn off post-processing in the setting, the fog will just disappear and it'll be fine.
Yeah, but
I don't
then
even
how are
play
you
with
gonna
post-processing.
see that there's an encounter going on?
I'm sure there'll
You
be
step into the thing and then
there'll be a secondary effect of some kind. You'll still be
The
able to
monsters are
see
different.
where
I mean,
it is.
honestly, as you guys can see, there's some fog on the overlay going on. That was very easy to do. Like, just with very, very easy
opacity
effect
and shit.
combinations, 2 layers and stuff. Like, I don't even have After Effects. I just did that in Premiere. So,
and
It just
what I'm
means
trying to
if
say
the-
is, like, it's not complicated to have some fog flying around in your game.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if it becomes too much of a problem, you're probably just going to be able to turn it off.
I would be surprised.
wouldn't it be better to keep it on because then your screen's rendering more of the same color? If you've got a shit computer that can't handle all the people in town with their pretty clothes, and you enter a map that's 98% gray, wouldn't that be better for your computer?
I think it overlaps with
It
the
does
other
have
Why
to. It
not?
does have to render the
What?
stuff under the fog.
It's
The
not
fog is
going to render all the pretty colors underneath and go, okay, slap some fucking gray on that bitch. That's not how
You
GPUs
think-
work. They do the math beforehand
Yes.
and then they print the pixels.
No,
That is how GPUs work.
that is exactly how it works. Yes.
It even renders things underground.
Yeah, there's some
What a
technology
shit game. Why did
that
you
does not
decode stuff
render
so
things
poorly?
that you can't see.
You know
but
when you say like poorly optimized game, that's because there's like shit assets underground that you can't see that are like making your like FPS garbage. That's optimization. Holy
I'm
moly.
just, oh, I'm just really enjoying how much Jim does not know about how
What do you
computers
mean?
work.
I know everything.
People laugh.
That's fantastic.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
okay, let's just jump a little bit. Okay, what is everyone's new favorite skill that's been announced? New favorite
Flicker
skill,
strike.
interaction, or support?
What is
Like
that?
from the new stuff from the upcoming expand. Flicker Strike is sadly already that's disqualified. That's already in the game.
I'm a
That's
big
not
fan
being
of
updated.
the daggers in the floor.
The daggers on the floor.
That's true.
Not the skill, but just like the passive generation of daggers in the floor.
Blade Blast.
Yeah. I won't be
I'll
able
have
to
to
see
agree.
them because they'll be grey everywhere, and apparently it just renders over the top. But all the daggers in the floor. If I wasn't playing Flicker Strike, I'd play a daggers in the floor build, like Anime Weapon or something like that.
Animate weapon or Blade Blast?
Anime Weapon. Fuck Blade, blah, blah, blah. I want little stabby boys, floor dagger boys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that interaction sounds super juicy, especially since they get extra flat fizz from the animate weapon gem.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any base damage by themselves, the so-called ethereal blades, but they do get extra base damage from the animate weapon gem, which makes it also that the low-level blade fall is as effective as a high-level blade fall when you're animating them. It's really cool.
What's the support that
Spell slinger.
turns? Is that the one? It's
That's
from
the one
future.
I'm excited about.
I was about to
Spell
say, what's the
slinger.
one that turns every skill into Poet's Pen?
Yeah.
Spell slinger.
Okay, yeah, it's probably
That's
good
the
then.
one.
Alright.
Do you remember last
Hey.
week though? We were talking about like wand stuff, and then we even said that like, oh, GGG have come out and said that like they're not gonna try to turn wands into bows. You know, with like they didn't want to give us Mirage Wander and things like that. Well, in this league, they just,
Mirage Wander.
and then this league they just turned wands into spells. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
But it's
Like
like
I feel so betrayed because Wander is like my favorite archetype in the entire game, and I
I don't
absolutely
think
love
you
wands,
have
but
to
It's like,
have to do it with spells. Like you can use the spell scaling. There's a stronger like connection thematically and archetypically. Typically, I don't know how you say
Yeah.
that in the game now between spells and wands. but you could still like easily play a spellcaster that doesn't use a wand. You could easily use a wand caster, a wand attacker that doesn't proc a spell.
A real wonder though is a ranger, right? Like you go as a Deadeye because you're not going to play it as
or
a
assassin.
Assassin's pretty decent as well, yeah. If you go for Power Siphon for sure, but like generally it's always going to be like on the right side of the tree, right? Because you need to go all the way to the bottom of the tree.
Yeah, right top, all the way to the bottom for the elemental damage with the text wheel.
Yeah, and then you also need to grab Point Blank, and then you also need to grab Ambidexterity, and then you usually travel up to the Frenzy Charge and the life over there.
Wait, Ambidexterity?
Yeah, because you usually like dual wands, right?
Dual wield wands?
Yeah, unless you
would use
for,
a
like,
shield.
A shield, yeah. I guess that's like more of a hardcore thing, I suppose. I don't know. I always go dual wielding wands because stacking attack speed and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I made that mistake. I make that a lot of times in hardcore. I start leveling with dual wield, and then it's so hard to swap away from dual wield because every time you replace your wand with a shield, you're actually like, oh, I'm dropping so much damage.
Yeah, man.
Especially when you're attacking with it, like, or dual wielding, like just daggers or axes and stuff like that. It just always feels like, nah, I can't do it.
With wands though, your offhand flat is like not that important. Like it's not as important as like I don't know, like swords or something, right? But like still it's super strong to go dual wielding, I think, compared to, because you also got like gain mods, right? So you could have gain mods on there as well as like a lot of
right, there's that interaction with Spellslinger where you get the what was it?
For real wonders, you only get
you're talking about real wonders, right? Okay.
You get the prefix, which is spell damage, which is why we used it. And when I was making a wonder, I used Crown of Eyes, right? And the thing about Crown of Eyes is that it's still going to be better than the passive, the notable on the tree, because they're adding
as a higher percentage to it.
Or? So you're still going to use Crown of Eyes, and instead of crafting like an extra prefix, you're just going to craft spell damage hybrid chaos. So then you have like 70% spell damage at like 1.5 effectiveness, and hybrid chaos, and then crit strike chance, attack, and flat. And that's like going to be the ideal. But still, like the thing that wonders suffer from is that they have to travel to Narnia to get their damage, essentially. Like, because you have to go all the way north, and then you can't take Prism Weave, you gotta anoint that. Now they expect you to get Wand Slinger, and then you go down to Point Blank. And with that, like you're never able to get like more than 4k life.
Here's the thing about that though. I did some looking at wanding, and I think you can build what absolutely has to be done by like level 70 on the tree. You don't need the rest of the points.
Yeah, I suppose. Your damage is going to be really low, though.
Your damage will be low, but it won't, because you're going to pick up that damage in the new cluster jewels. Instead of spending all of your time traveling, you're going to be able to make up the things that you had in the new cluster jewels.
That could be the redeeming factor. So far, what we've seen from the cluster jewels is kind of like, meh.
Yeah, but we're only really seeing the tip of the iceberg. There's like 280 new notables, and whatever we've seen, like maybe 20, not even.
It's true, not even 20.
I feel extra excited about what we've seen of the cluster jewels.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at each individual mod and being like, oh, that mod can exist at the same time as this one and this one and this one. So they've not shown us any absolute spot on POG jewels, but they've shown us enough different mods that I know I can make some, and I know that they're going to be disgusting.
Are they going to be weighted, you reckon? Probably.
I think so, yeah.
There's so many different like possible skills, they're probably not going to be weighted. Fuck yeah.
I hope they're weighted according to what the enchant is. I really do. Because
you mean that the depending on what the enchant on the cluster jewel is, you get different outcome possibilities on rolling them?
Well,
that would be interesting.
I'm just hoping,
wait, I'm going to pause that on
here. I'm hoping that the enchant on the jewel weights how it can roll.
What are the metamorph things
That's what
called?
I'm hoping.
That's true. So if it's a chaos one, you're more likely to get chaos stuff.
Yeah, and that is what it looks like.
Yeah,
but I have not seen a single bit of confirmation. It just they chaos spam one in there, and it looks like it's following those rules. And all of the jewels they've shown look like they've been rolled somewhat thematically. Not like they can't roll other mods, but just like they're weighted towards the enchant that they've got. That's how it looks. I haven't seen a single confirmation, but it looks like that in everything we've seen so far. And I'm really hoping that's true because it'll make it way better to roll quite decently acceptable ones.
No.
That'll make it decently acceptable ones available to absolutely everyone. Still going to
Perfect
be
ones
hard
are
to get
gonna
your
be,
like
like-
perfect 4-stat.
They're gonna be like.
I don't think you
impossible to
need
get, though.
perfect though. I don't
No,
think if
you
you've
will
got
not.
like a combination of like a large to medium and a small or something like, you know, how do you call it? Cascading sockets outward, then it can be super, super point efficient, even if every single jewel by itself is not the greatest one.
Yeah.
But if
I was
you're
really
looking to
excited about
just
the min max though. Like imagine like you would get into it where you would actually meta craft these. But the sad part is that you can't put meta mods on jewels, right? So it's kind of like it's gonna be so expensive to try to get a perfect one. And that's actually I think it's gonna be like to the point where some of these jewels are gonna be even more expensive than like Legion jewels. If you get like literally like every passive one is like absolutely perfect. It's gonna be
I tell you what, they're gonna
pretty
be
exciting.
easier to sell than Legion jewels.
That's true.
What's the skill that's not listed on your list? The one where you like preserve your mana or something. Wait, that's just not spell slinger. The other one. What's the defense one for like mana?
Arcane something shield or
Cloak.
cloak?
Yeah,
What
the
does that do?
Archmage things I did not include yet. Right, there's a new guard skill that consumes a percentage of your mana and grants you then a shield based on that percentage of mana, but we don't know the numbers at all. We don't know how much mana it consumes because they only say a percentage of your unreserved mana, and they also don't say in what relation that amount of mana stands to the actual shield that you're getting from it. So it's really, really hard at this point to say anything about it at all. But if we assume values along the lines of Val Molten Shell and Steel Skin, somewhere in between, it could be pretty good. Like what's really promising is that you get global flat lightning damage to hits
Yeah, it's true.
during that, and
Seems really good as well for CI
Yes.
builds because like where you wouldn't necessarily be able to use MOM, right? So that's pretty cool as well.
Well, the thing is, if it scales off mana the way I suspect, it'll only be useful for mind over matter builds.
Yeah,
Because
then
because
you're
it's a
actually
percentage of
not-
unreserved mana.
like
Because
double
how many
dipping.
how many CI characters have you had with more than 100 life mana unreserved?
Like I think GGG in general are trying to make us not
Imagine
reserve
playing
auras with these
CI.
latest things, but like I always have like 98% of all my mana always reserved, no matter what, because auras are just
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah, like this is. I think you need Mom for this
I
guard skill to
absolutely
be
despise
worth it.
Mom.
And I
But
can
they
make.
also did that last league, right? With the shield, right? And now they're just like dripping in things like, yo, you want to go for
Yeah.
some unreserved mana? And I'm like, nah, dude, I got hatred. Thank you.
Yeah. Like I don't see myself using it, but there are reasons to make Mom builds like agnostic builds when you stack into it that way. Like there's reasons, and in those instances, I would probably use that guard skill. I'm happy that more guard skills are being added.
Yeah, more.
I think we still need some more for different things. I would very, very much like one that scales off dodge and evasion.
Ooh, I'm all about the dodge. I would love
Right?
that as
Like-
well. Yeah.
I would like one that scales off dodge and evasion, and I would like it to be slightly different than others. I would like it to just straight up mitigate 80% of incoming damage from X amount of hits in this area. So it
Like
could
imagine
last
something that's like
less. Like it could last less time than the others, but be based on just with no cap and just be like, I absorb 80% of incoming damage for 3 seconds.
What about
if you
one
get
that's
hit.
like
No,
if
you said
take
for a number of
80%
hits.
of your life in damage, it
or-
automatically log you out.
Yeah.
For hardcore players.
Automatically lock you out. No, just
Yeah.
be like, there's a hit limit and a time limit on it. Like that,
Oh yeah,
that
of
sort
course,
thing.
of course.
Right.
Just the hit limit wouldn't
Yeah.
work. That would be stupid.
Yeah, it would be OP as fuck. But yeah, like a 3-second limit, you can get hit twice or 3 times at level 23 or something like that. Where you'll just and then it something somehow scaling with dodge and evasion, right? Like there's none for Dex users. And
Yeah.
up until now, there was none for int users. I don't think this one's good enough for a majority of int users. Like anyone mom is going to go really, really, really well with that one, but I don't see myself using it in any of my CI or low life builds or anything like that because I'm going to use my mana. It's too useful. I have to have some
Yeah,
good
it's
reasons to go mom, which I can make, and those builds will use it, but But I'm happy to see more guard skills. I want more still.
Mind Over Matter is pretty strong while leveling, and I think with the new guard skill that we'll probably also get early on. I mean, we'll definitely have it before Act 3, I'd say. And together with that new support, the Archmage support that makes the skill cost a percentage of your mana, I think that will be really cool for lightning skills to level with. Like Stormbrand leveling is going to be significantly stronger with those than it is without them, right? For example.
It's true.
Or Stormblast Mine, stuff like that.
What's it called again? The cloak? Cloak or something? I don't absorb information. Couldn't you do like blood magic auras and then a shit ton of mana and then have your damage in your blood magic and then like an opposite build?
But then you still
Mathel, get on it.
Then you still die to Degens?
Nah, it gets CI garbage, you know.
CI garbage is low life? Pog.
Get the CI without
you'd have to go Shavs. You'd have to go Shavs.
There you go. It's building itself.
Ivory Tower low life is what you're talking about.
I have no
idea. You're talking about the one where you get to Ivory Tower, where you get to reserve your life instead of your mana for all of your auras.
That's a thing. Yeah, I'll just say that's what I was going for, and I wasn't just spitting bullshit. Sure.
I still feel like
Ivory
that's
Tower.
Scuffed,
yeah.
I don't know. Why not just go Shavs at that point, right?
What's the skill with that's like lightning warp but also checkers at the same time?
Arcane Rune. Arcane Rune.
The one that the Conqueror does.
Yeah. Now we Stormbind and Rune Blast.
Stormbind, yeah.
Rune Blast,
is it the Rune one? Yeah. What if
Stormbind also grants you the Rune Blast skill, so it's like a double channeling skill, so you channel one and then you channel the other one. I don't know whether you have to hold down both at the same time, like within each other, or whether you hold the one first and then the other one.
The Incinerate one powers up, doesn't it, or something?
Yeah.
Just get foot pedals.
It's like mines, but even shitter and with less damage. I'm not interested.
Well, how do you know the damage numbers?
Cast while channeling like lightning warp with it. Because then you'd teleport the first time, and then your channel would go off, and you'd teleport again, but then your runes would be back there, and then you'd have to release the button to blow up. It'd be shit. And I want it.
Sounds promising.
The only thing that lets me down about that is that like they were like, oh yeah, and it works kind of like mines, because people love detonating mines, don't they? They just fucking love. It's so good.
You see that ring? The Skitterbot ring? I like that. It's good for noobs like me. You know the curse one, right?
Oh, no? Right. That's pretty chill.
Yeah,
pretty chill, yeah.
It's not chill if you put it in the right. Fuck you, Balor. Fucking joke. That was a microsecond and a half. I'm gonna come out and beat your ass. Sorry.
We're talking about the new supported unique unset ring that was teased today. That has +3 to socketed curse skills. And it it interacts with Skitterbots in the way that it replaces either the chilling or the shocking aura with a curse aura. But it's your curse in that case, actually, not the Skitterbot's curse.
Yeah.
So it scales off of your curse AoE and curse effect. Yeah.
One thing is like when I saw that, I sort of wish they didn't put res on it, and they put because like res is sort of like it's nice to have res, but it's like it's nicer to have like some more like cool stuff on it. Like you could have put like curse effect. You could have put some like I don't know, some things that like work better with the ring itself. Does it have a low level
requirement?
No,
I think it's just gonna be like kind of like like a ZGD ring kind of thing, kind of situation. I think.
I don't think so because Ziggy D's ring is fucking garbage, and this one's actually okay.
Yeah, it reminded me more of Mark of Submission, TBH. Mark of Submission, the Delve ring that's just plus. Yeah,
the only person I've ever seen use Ziggy's ring is Ziggy. I think he just
actually pretty good now.
His. No, it's garbage.
Ah, I've seen tons of people use it in this lore weave recipe.
Right. Whereas this ring looks like a really decent starter ring for almost any build.
Yeah.
And then even intermediate, like moderate gear in a lot of builds will still carry through. And I could see a good argument on a miner or trapper to actually just continue using it forever, especially if you're already shocking. Like if you're a lightning trap or ball lightning or arc minor or something where you've already got a shock that's better than the one you were going to get out of the skitters anyway. Yeah. But you're also still going to have skitters anyway because that's part of your build. Yeah. I could see a reason to keep that and just get rid of the shock component, right? Like
that shock is so strong though. Like getting like you can get it up to like 17%, right? Like you'd have to hit like a truck
19 is
19 even better, right? But like just the way that I think about shock is like or the way that I just generally think about damage is like you don't need damage until you like actually need it, right? When like the target doesn't just get one shot. And like in those situations, there's no actual lightning skill out there that hits enough to actually get 19% shock effect on like a boss or something.
Oh,
like
now you got that new cloak, you're gonna get all that lightning damage. I believe in you. You can do it.
True. But like yeah, you need like an absurd amount of like on-hit damage, like 2 million or something, to get a good shock effect on like Shaper, for example. And like what hits for like 2 million on like one hit, unless you like play an absurd like
the little black things
like are like little hits, right? Like just like little machine gun hits, and you get like really terrible shock effect. I guess Shock Nova, that's really good.
Isn't there abilities that have baked in your shock as though you were dealing so and so much more damage?
Lightning Arrow, but it's Lightning Arrow. It sucks.
It's also on Voltaxic, right?
Yeah. Also Voltaxic.
They need a skill that's like charging up. So if you can just not take damage, you can just infinitely charge it, like a mine with like a nuke. So if you sit there for 10 minutes charging it and you don't get killed, you let
Divine Ire for lightning conversion hits like a truck. That could be enough.
That's true. Divine Ire is pretty big, yeah, for like hit damage. Because then there you can actually get like 3 million hit damage like quite easily. Too bad it's Divine Ire though.
Yeah, I've never played a self-cast Divine Ire. Seems kind of bad.
Yeah, it's just like it sucks to be like running around and then just doing squats in your map. Like, you just like those skills that like you click it and then just boom. You know,
what
like
about
things fly out and do things.
So Archmage support is supposed to we see them with Arc just chunking more and more and more damage to add a bunch of extra damage to the skill. I do wonder how that's going to work with the channeled skills.
Right.
Like Stormbind and Divine Ire, and like is that going to get worse and worse per tick, or just at the beginning of the cast? Like each beginning of a cast is just going to count as one use rather than every tick, or whether they just don't support channeled skills at all.
I think they won't support channeled skills. Generally, you can't trigger channeled skills, right? Like it's the same with like I think this essentially all they did was bake Assonance Chant into a skill gem. That's what it feels like, right? Except Assonance Chant is actually better because it has a slower it has a faster cooldown, and it doesn't really do cost you any mana, right? And the helmet is actually really nice. So I used an Assonance Chant this league. It was really, really good. It was so good. Like I didn't reserve anything, and then you could put like EK, Chain, Combustion, and like something else in there, and it's just like insane if you're a fire build, which I was like playing. I think cast on crit bow build. It was just amazing for that Assonance Chant. It's super sleeper OP that the helmet as well. I think it should see some more use.
It's the next Baron.
Yo, don't touch it though, please. No nerf my Assonance Chant. They just buffed it this league though. That's the thing. It used to be like a 25% chance to trigger at like 0.25 cooldown, and now it's a 100% chance at 0.3.
Oh, that's insane. I didn't notice that. I thought it was always like that for some reason. That went past me. That's insane, then.
Just gonna steal that.
Super good, yeah.
Because I was always super dance gaming at Kitava's Thirst, whereas like it has a 30% chance to trigger the socketed skills if you spend at least so and so much mana on a cast or something. And it's so annoying when it doesn't trigger in like 10 casts. You just need such absurd amount of cast speed to make it reliable that I never played it. I just always wanted to try it, put it on, went into a map, was like, nah, this is too unreliable.
Yeah,
I
Assonance
literally
Chant
had
is
to
so
look
good
up.
because like
I literally had to
custom
look it up
cribbles.
after Nash Chant. I
It's
didn't know.
so
I didn't know what it
man.
was.
It's so good. I was playing
What
Consecrated
ascendancy do you
Ground.
play with?
I was playing an assassin, power charge stacking, con ground with Assonance Chant, EK in
Cool.
the helmet, and then if you want to go
Not
even
stealing that.
further, since you're shooting a bow, then you can also use the quiver from Synthesis, and that you can trigger another 3-socket for free, and that's every time you attack with a bow. So it's like actually insane. You can get some really cool stuff going with that setup. But I was using Signal Fire. It's called I forgot what the quiver is called again. I have it. Just I forget the name.
Okay, I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna put it in a South Park GIF.
Do it.
Done.
So just for reference here on screen, that's the item that's been talked about.
Yeah, Melody's
Assonance Chant.
mechanism.
Trigger a socketed spell when you attack
Yeah.
with the bow, and that has a 0.3 second cooldown.
You can cast spells with a bow, can't you?
I mean, just
This-
cast on crit, dude. Easy life.
Yeah, but then you can get it's a spell slinger hat, and then spell slinger chest, and then spell slinger bow, and then spell slinger boots,
And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
attack with a wand.
and then you like slap something, and then nothing works because you're me.
I think
What's it
there's
called? What's
people-
that stupid
people
chest
trigger-
shield called that you were talking about? Some sort of tower. I don't remember.
Ivory Tower is a chess
Monastery,
piece, but
Ivory
Yeah,
Tower.
ivory tower, chest piece, bow wand. What PoE 2 they let you do melee attacks with the bow. I bet you're gonna have wands. They'll turn arrows into wands. Actually, I'm trademarking that. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, trigger spell are targeted where the attack was targeted, but that's why you generally either run EK in it or actually yeah, I ran EK, chain, combustion with faster prod, right? So I didn't even have to like do anything. I was just using that 4-link to clear. And then when I was getting to the boss, like they would be like applying combustion, and then that's where like the purifying flame was actually doing all the damage.
Cock. Okay,
Super strong.
I wrote it down.
I got that, played that build for a few days. It was really fun.
So,
how did, you
did
manage to
everyone?
play so much bows? They're so bad this league.
Yeah,
they were
no,
buffed.
bows are really good for spells, dude. Did you see? Like, I
Yeah.
made like
Yeah.
five.
And
five
swords are
builds
really
this
good
week,
for
and they
range
all use,
attacks.
they all use bows for spells.
Yeah.
Like I have like +7 bows, just like yep. It's the only thing you use, dude. Bows to fire spells.
So what was that?
Next
segue
league,
were
you're gonna
talking
have
about?
wands to fire spells as well. God, I love GGG sometimes.
I know bows that fire wands, and then you got to get the sharpest wand and then when the wands hit the enemy, they cast what's on
They
their
bleed.
thing, what's in their links. So you
True.
just sacrifice a whole bunch of links. I'd play that.
And there's fucking there's self cast in the back, like please. I beg.
And you try and shoot a poet's pen, but it's just a feather, so it doesn't just falls out of the bow. Shit game. Physics, 10 out of 10.
I actually played self cast this league though, and it's like with the awakened gems, it's actually so pog.
Which
I
one
don't
in
know if you guys know
particular?
about Flame Blast. Like I was playing a Fireball, Sire of Shards, and then I would like weapon swap to Flame Blast, and I had like a curse on hit set up in my chest to apply ignite and combustion, like because Flame Blast can't actually like ignite, right? But you do 108% more damage if the target is ignited. So I would like just drop a brand. And
Wait,
then,
why
like,
can Flame Blast not ignite?
it's just like part of the text in the gem.
Oh,
It's,
not
like,
it-
literally-
oh,
it
it
just
can't
ignite.
anymore?
Yeah. No, it
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
Okay,
I always thought so. You put focus on it. Flame
Surge.
Surge. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
always mistake the two.
I was like Flame Blast.
Yeah, but I had like a level 31 Flame Blast, Flame Surge, and that did like 44 million Shaper DPS. That was like what a good build, dude. I played that
What's
to
this
100.
zigzag
unjuiced.
noob trap that they're putting in? The little spell that goes this way, and then everyone's going to play it, and it's going to be shit. What's that one called? Kinetic
It's
something?
an
Is it
attack,
kinetic?
and it's Kinetic Bolt,
Kinetic
which
Ball.
abbreviates to KB, which
Oh, yeah.
upsets everyone because
Is it physical damage?
I mean, it's an
It's no
attack.
damage.
It's
just
one
effective.
damage.
Yeah, it's
So-
just
so-
effective.
So whatever's on your wand, that's the kind of damage it does.
Ah, okay, cool.
It's
You
an
gonna play
attack
it?
that definitely looks like a spell. Yeah,
I'm
probably as a minor,
Wait,
because
Wait, kinetic
I
bolt
can make-
minor?
yeah, well, I can make a ball lightning minor, and the point difference between making a kinetic bolt minor and a ball lightning minor is so minimal that I can change between them.
But you need
very,
flat spell
very easily.
damage for ball lightning, no? Or are you just gonna scale?
Well, I'll just scale mine and mine damage and mine crit. And then
Yeah,
the
I
difference
suppose.
is I take a spell crit wheel when I'm using ball lightning, or I drop the 2 spell crit wheels that I've got and pick up the 1 stuff that I'm already like 1 point away from in the tree.
I
And
think you're
that's the
gonna need a
difference
lot of
between
flat
them.
though. Like for
Well, yeah, but
for one stuff, like you need a lot of flat to make that stuff work.
that just means I need good actual
ones, right?
ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, precisely.
But
Yeah,
the point
it's
is,
really hard to
if
craft
it works
them.
out garbage, I'm a ball lightning miner
True. Yeah, that's
in
true.
a heartbeat.
For
And that
sure.
saves me. So if you want to do something like that as a league start, you can. And then if it gets to, you're in matching like, I'm really struggling, this is slowing down my progression, I hate this. It's like 8 points. You just refund 8 points and bam, you're a ball lightning miner. As long as you picked up ball lightning and you've been leveling it, you could just become a ball lightning miner. And then you can try it again later when you've got a really pog wand or whatever.
True.
Right?
No, I think Kinetic Blast is gonna be better, like 10 times out of 10 though, with the one slinger node. It's just like I look at Kinetic Bolt and it looks amazing, right? But it just has no like secondary mechanic to it. No, like Kinetic Blast is just so strong in the regard that it has like a hit and an explosion, and the clear is just amazing, and it has like 180% effectiveness of added damage. It's like, I don't know.
We haven't seen the numbers yet. I'll be interested to see what the damage looks like. It could end up being significantly more damage.
Yeah, true.
And like, it'll be less coverage no matter what, but I mean, when you're a miner, you've got enough coverage anyway,
Yeah,
even if
got
it's
plenty.
like Kinetic
really hope
Blast
it's
has good coverage,
I'm
but
just so skeptical, but yeah, I actually hate that I'm skeptical, because wands have been like on my like please become good again list for a long time now.
I, for one, I'm just happy I can play my animate weapon build by not using animate weapon by myself or with cast while channeling, because that always frustrates me to give up so many gem slots that I could use good supports in. And like, I'm just gonna use a regular self-cast 6-link animate weapon and then just replace the weapon elemental damage or one of the other gems with the spell slinger support. I'm gonna reserve it, and I'm gonna use kinetic bolt with curse on hit, and then some sort of curses to apply 2 curses. And if I convert elemental equilibrium, but probably the best way to play animate weapon will be impale, at least at low levels of investment, I suppose, because they're all physical damage. The base damage that they get from the animate weapon gem is physical.
So here's a question, and I sent this to Taki, so hopefully he asks it. What I really, really want more than anything is for the the Ethereal Knives Spectres to leave blades.
Oh, that would be PogChamp. But
because those would become my support Spectres.
That would be
and
insane.
those would leave blades in things for me to animate.
But since it doesn't really depend on the level of the blade fall gem, you can really have just a level 1 blade fall and a trigger wand.
Sure. Or
and have real specters instead. Yeah, but you could have real specters, like actual specters that give like that curse, or you could have charged specters, or you could have proc shield specters.
Like, I wonder, like, would the explosion be based off your damage or just Spectre's damage? Because, like, if you think about it, you could use that even if you're not like a.
Or the blade blast.
Yeah, like if the Spectres left blades, is like the damage of the explosion? Because the explosion part is like a skill that you equip, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's just like with the animate weapon that the base damage of the explosion is on the blade blast gem and not on the
right. So you could use Spectres, because like I've been using an animate guardian in all my builds, even without being a minion build, and they're insane. They give me like 20% more damage.
Guardians are insane, yeah.
Like just straight up 20% more damage, and they die like once a week at most. So it's like 4x every time they die. Whatever, right? But like, if you can then have Spectres that leave blades around, and then you're just like a fizz conversion build, and then you can blast those blades for free. Like, imagine. That's insane. Just go like Purifying Flame, Spectres that leave blades, and just blast the blades when you need more like damage. Like, holy moly.
I just want to be able to animate weapon really, really smoothly.
Yeah.
And like animate weapons do so much damage that as long as they're smooth and out, you don't need Spectres. I'd rather have. I'll grab like
actual Spectres. Yeah.
I'll happily grab EK knives, Spectres if they put blades in things. They're the Spectres.
They must be insane. Yeah.
Just be constantly supplying.
21, you get one more Spectre, and then what do you need to get another? Like, so you could have 3, right? How many do you need to get 4?
You would only need 2. So if you got 4 Spectres, you could have 2 charge monkeys. It would be fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the gem needs to be level 31 to get 3 Spectres. Holy moly!
Wow. That's what I also was just looking up because I don't know how far they shifted that.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
I guess what do you need for that then? Like,
wait,
you have
31?
to empower it.
Max Spectres?
Oh no, it's 25, right? 25 for 3.
So 31 sounded a little bit untrue.
Yeah, I was looking at the mana cost in PPA.
W.
So for 3 it's 25, and then for 4 it's impossible. You can't get 4. Okay. That feels bad, man.
Yeah,
well, you can get additional. I mean, you can not get them from level, but you can get them elsewhere, right? You can get them on the tree. You can get them on the. No, Balls of Valor don't give you anymore, right? They give you just plus level.
I think it's like the Delve mods, right?
Yeah, Delve chest gives you one.
Yeah, right. +1 Spectre from Delve chest.
But Delve chest means no fun chest, I suppose. So.
Well, we don't know how accessible fun chests are going to be next week. Or are you talking about Explodey Boy chests?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like one thing also that's like a little bit... Like, I love Explodey, but it's almost like every single build I have is just like, that socket is like already like, you know, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chest from my other character, I'm going to put it on this character, and whether it has Frenzy on hit, or a plus explode, or attack crit, or plus explode, or spell crit plus explode, like, it's going to be explode no matter what in the chest slot.
Okay.
No matter what, because it's just so good. Like, exploding, like, getting rid of corpses, like, no matter what, is like the best thing in PoE, in my opinion. And also, like, proliferating Fizz Explosion, it's like, dog.
The fact that it's like self-proliferates is really weird.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Like, they put an end to that in other areas, but then just left it in a new, way more easily scalable mechanic.
Its scale is so hard as well, yeah. With like, if you're playing like an actual Fizz as extra build, or I was playing a lot with like the circle of like, you know, the Fizz circles. I was playing spell builds with them, just converting like all my Fizz damage to like as extra, and like all of the things, like getting a shit ton of base damage, Fizz base damage from the circles, Purity, Herald of Purity, plus Disintegrator, and it's just like every spell build, like you could literally play any spell build with that, and it just felt insane with Explodey.
Yeah,
you hit one pack and then it just like clear like a third of the map. And it just felt really, really nice. And you have Cinder Swallow, right? So you're not gonna degen unless you're like, I don't know, spamming your spells like way too excessively. It felt really nice, yeah. I'm happy it's back though, but maybe they should have put it on a belt, so people would actually have to think about, do I want a Headhunter or do I want the Explodey belt? You know, instead of like chest, which is like, you know, you can put a chest on any build.
Yeah.
But then you actually have the choice, right? Headhunter or Explodey belt.
That's a shit choice.
Explodey belt.
I mean, I'd take Explodey. I hate Headhunter.
I think I would probably take Explodey on some builds too. This league I've went like quite alright without Headhunter as well. Like juicing specifically, I don't know. You get to the point where you just overjuice yourself. Your eyes become like you're just like staring at this screen, and all you're doing is picking up loot, and your character's like whole screen. It becomes a little bit.
Just looking at your toe.
Yeah.
What? Oh, that really confused me. Why are you playing with your feet on your desk?
Your character's toe.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I realized that.
Good.
I'm not that fast. In game, I mean, to get that big. I'm not that fast in brain either to understand references.
I think this league I hit a record, like 78 attacks per second. I had like, I think 820 buffs.
Jesus.
On a T19 triple beyond Nemesis, 4 scarabs. That was yeah. That was pretty something. We hit damage overflow in the first pack of the instance.
Did you see that psychopath trying to get to level 100 in under 6 hours?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
He's like 99 now, and it's been like 3 hours. So someone's sending me updates on this.
My God.
Holy shit.
330, and he's almost getting 100. Yeah, but like I got like 99 to 100.
I'm just reading. He hosted us. He's done.
Yeah, I saw him host you a while ago. And I'm like, did he do it in like less than 4 hours?
Yeah, he's a machine.
Fucking ridiculous.
Headhunter,
nerf Headhunter, nerf Necro, nerf Baron.
I mean, Headhunter is not the problem though, is it? It's Shackles. Think about that.
Headhunter isn't the problem. It's people with money that's the problem. Nerf money making.
That's me, dude. What the heck?
Nerf money making.
Limit the amount of time you're allowed to play to 4 hours a day, so everyone can have the same amount of playtime.
That was actually a suggestion that was with like with the races as well. That there should be an event where you can only put in so and so many hours per day.
/played race, not like first person to waste their life race.
So to say,
whoever can get to Catava solo self-found by lowest /played instead of whoever can get there first.
Yeah, I suppose
it would be interesting to see though, like who wins if you can't out no life. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm quickly gonna get a drink. You guys continue.
I think to some extent it's pretty unhealthy, like the things we put ourselves through.
Yeah. But on that, go ahead. Fuck you. Go ahead. Yeah, go on.
I mean,
fuck you, dude.
Is it unhealthy?
Not you, Balor,
to do that sort of stuff? Sure, but not any more unhealthy than. Oh man, someone's gonna make fun of me for this. It's not unhealthy than the sort of things that any athlete puts their body through for whatever it is they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. True.
Right? Like it's
Are
not.
you comparing yourself to an athlete?
Well, I'm not one of the racers, so no, because I'm garbage at it.
E-gamer
racers.
Okay.
Just wait,
so you are
I'm
not
not
racist.
I'm not a good racer, so no. But it's a sport. It's called esport, and just like any other sport, people do things that aren't necessarily the best for their bodies.
Yeah, I've got 30 bottles of Pepsi over there. They're all full. I've already drunken 20 of them. I'm preparing for next league. I am addicted to sugar.
Dude. I'm addicted to
coffee,
dude. Bro. All right, don't say that, okay? We're gonna have a problem.
This is empty now, and I'm sad about it. It's all about coffee.
You want to know the secret to not needing coffee in the morning?
What is it? Tell me.
Just don't go to sleep. I've been awake for 20 hours.
I was going to say just wake up in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm going to pass the fuck out.
But yeah, no, it's I don't know. I think trying to limit races for I wouldn't mind having a race here and there that was like, this is a 3-week race, but everyone can only log in for 4 hours, but a day. But then that would have to be
4 hours.
That would have to be something like
make it solo self-found,
or half of that. Yeah, it would have to be complete solo self-found.
Make it based on played, and just go for the fastest you can get. Because then that'll encourage someone who's a racer boy to be like, I'm gonna learn all the fucking layouts of this seeded event and be the fastest boy in existence in my solo self-found voided clusterfuck. And then you'd see the true speed as opposed to, I got a tabular and I bricked my game because I thought I could do 6 links when I wasn't prepared for it. Or some guy got like, I got movement speed boots and I win just because RNG. But if it's seeded, that'd be such a good race. I don't know, man.
Honestly, though, I think you'd see the same people winning the race.
Well, yeah,
you'd still see
but
the
then
same people
you'd push the speeds to the limit.
Yeah. True.
There'd be insider trading, not insider trading, insider information trading. Like imagine if everyone had the same delve. So if someone got a mirror drop somewhere, it's a guaranteed mirror.
Right.
Imagine that kind of like information, but imagine you're pushing your delve down and you've got 20 underlings also pushing their delve, but in different directions to find all the best loot for you. I want seeded races. That'd be so fun. I hate
That's
racing.
a
Fuck
level
racing.
of seeding I've never seen in any game.
I think
Like,
like,
void
even,
it
like
and
you
that
want
would
the
be
loot
insane, though.
seeded.
Because it's
Yeah,
like the dice is rolled when you open something, right? So like the implementation would be pretty difficult, I think.
exactly. It's
Like-
not racing, it's speed running. I want speed running. That'd be so good. And then it wouldn't encourage people to be like, oh, I got a race coming up. I gotta get 2 days off work so I can put a bucket under my chair and get to level 100 before anyone else so I can win a pretty
Wouldn't that
amulet
just
that no one
encourage
cares about.
people to do multiple runs on different accounts?
Yeah.
Because
No, multiple runs, same account. Get your time better. It's like
Yeah,
lab running, except not shit.
because you already know which loot you get from which chest.
Exactly. You're encouraged to spread
I'm
out,
not sure.
find where the good loot is, optimize your path.
I mean, I like that
Speedrunning.
for the descent races that they had,
It's pretty interesting though.
but I don't know about like a longer event for that. Like,
Yeah.
also, like how can that all be seeded? Like, it doesn't make like
What do you mean?
the
How can it be
infinite
seeded?
amount of possibilities.
Replace the RNG number you've got seeding things and just set it to a very specific seed like Minecraft.
Yeah, but not
and all of your
everyone
loot
enters the same map at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Don't
Like,
do it to a map. Just do it
like
to
it's not
Katava. So
linear.
you see the zones and
Yeah,
the
but the game's
monsters
not
within the
linear.
zones and the loot that the monsters drop.
Like,
It's
you have a-
entirely possible based on fucking what they fucked up Delve with when that Delve happened. You know, when like 5% of the player base were getting shit that was worth an exalt behind walls and no one else was.
Yeah, but that was still not seeded. I mean,
It
it
was
was
still
seeded,
not,
but not
like,
in the way you're
determined.
Yeah,
describing.
but
Determined.
I'm not saying it's a flick of the switch like it was to create Metamorph the League. I'm just saying it's a cool mechanic that could make racing fair for people who don't have a day free where they can sit down and shit in a bucket and just race for 14 hours. And it's good. It'd be good for casual. Casuals can be like, oh, I can check Lee Reddit website and see where the Lee drops are dropping, and they can go, oh, there's a good rate here. I'm gonna go out of my way to get the teamwork, all that shit. It'd be like synthesis without the data mining. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's a cool idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
We need more race formats though. Like GGG
Yeah.
should definitely implement like also like if I want to make a
Yeah.
private league and I want infinite soul fight and I want that league to be voided, like because that's the only way that they would ever do it, right?
Well, that's the problem. Like, you
Just
want
let me race
fun.
Delve.
They could add so many fun mechanics to private leagues with the option of it's just going to get voided, but then everyone's
Yeah.
going to be playing private leagues instead of the actual league. They don't want to give you fun; they want to give you pain and suffering.
But like maybe just open that for like the last month of the league or something, so people can make their own like fun events. But then they go
Yeah,
like,
that
oh,
would-
but you're gonna
But
get
then you'll be
burnt
playing that
out
instead
and
of coming back to
shit."
the new league and buying new boxes. It's like against their monetization strategy.
But aren't custom leagues like limited to the duration of the league? That like you can't
Yeah.
make a custom league of
If the mechanic is there and available, wouldn't you just make it again when the new league comes out?
I mean,
but it wasn't the premise of the whole discussion that we just had that it would be only active for the last month of the league?
yeah, for the last month or something
Yeah.
like that. But then
So
GG
people
again said
couldn't
that
play
they,
it.
they don't do flashbacks because people get burnt out and they don't come back the next
So-
week, right?
I would
Don't
like
make
to
the game
see
fun.
Sorry.
But that's like the same reason League of Legends said they're not gonna do Earth anymore. And still, every time I fucking log into League of Legends, there's some sort of Earth event going on.
What's Earth?
Ultra rapid fire, where
Oh,
all the
fuck yeah.
cooldowns are like gone.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I
think
do
GGG is a
understand.
little bit scared, man. They're a little bit. They're trying to be a little bit too cautious. I feel
They
And
don't want to
should-
make a mistake and royally screw themselves over. Cough Blizzard.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the
Well,
thing with that. It's much, 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 much easier for them to
Fucking Blizzard.
not give us things
Mhm.
and very, very carefully add little things at a time than it is to give us something and then be like, ooh, that
take
didn't
it
work.
back.
We're going to take
Yeah,
that back.
Yeah.
You can't
They-
take things away from
They
us.
even said
Right?
that. They even said that.
That is way harder to do. Like, oh yeah, here's an infinite sulfite voided option you can have. for your
Here's
league.
a league where
Oh,
we
that
put in
did
an
not go
auction
well
house,
for
but
us.
it's all voided.
Yeah, they could go, oh, that didn't go well for us. I'm now going to take away that Infinite Soul Fight League. You
They've done that
can't
in the
have
past,
that
like,
again. That's
Legacy.
way worse.
And then everyone since Legacy has always been like, I want Legacy back.
Rest in peace, good bestiary league.
Yeah, which
Or like
which
I think
means
Chris said a good example of this was what was his example? Like death penalty, I suppose. Like if they were to like not have death penalty at the start and then introduce it later, like people would have gone crazy. But since they had that from the start, like it's not much of an issue that it's there. It's the same kind of concept, right?
And they mentioned they originally wanted to have you talk to an NPC in town to refill your flasks.
Right.
And they just didn't get around to it early on. And they said there's zero chance we can add that now. People would lose their fucking minds. Like absolutely lose their minds. That's an absolutely pointless thing. But if it was always in from the beginning, it wouldn't be a huge point right now.
Yeah.
No one would. Yeah. No one would really care. You'd be like, oh yeah, you talk to the flask guy and your flasks refilled.
You'd get upset if you fat fingered your flasks. Like shit, I gotta go back to town. God damn it.
Do you really think that would be the case? If like in PoE 2 that would all of a sudden be there? Do you think that would be an outrage? I guess it would be with the majority of the player base.
It would be an outrage with Reddit, but then
yeah, Reddit for sure.
Most people that have a brain that would just go into a map and kill the first pack, right? And then it's like, oh, I have my flask back.
You could get through the entire game. If that was the case, I'd just opt not to not use flasks. I'd pay $1,000 to put a unique in the game where I get a flat bonus for not having a flask, and then I'd play flaskless.
Yeah, I suppose, but it would have to be equal to. Like I would do that too. Like it would have to be equal to
isn't there a
flasks.
buff like coming in this league that's like if your flask isn't active, you have 20% extra movement speed or something?
Yeah.
Well,
honestly,
I saw that,
was like, this is garbage.
If I could get 1/3 of the power of my flasks for not having flask slots,
you need your Gatorade.
My hand and arm I would love that. I'll take that. Like there's.
Does anyone else have numb fingers like on their thumbs and on their ring fingers? Is that just me? No?
I get that when I'm delve pushing, when I'm like orb walking for 16 hours a day. But that's also like that's something that you should look into because we had the same. Like I had like a lot of OHS at work about this kind of stuff. That's when the circulation to your fingers is like you're not getting enough blood there, and you should be careful when that happens.
I've got like a raised lump, like my fingers aren't like symmetrical anymore. I've got like a small muscle where I've been holding my mouse. I'm getting extra strong in a single particular knuckle. Or
if
it's
you're
cancer.
Noticing like you're lacking coloration in your fingers, you should stop gaming and work on getting the circulation going back into your fingers. Because yeah, I don't know. It was drilled into my head that like you can actually lose your fingers if that happens. But that was like extensive, like 12 hours a day use of power tools because the vibration cuts the circulation to your fingers. It's not gonna. I don't think it ever happened with gaming, so I think you're fine. But yeah, I don't know if it has any long-term effects. But for me, like the flasks thing is like, even when I'm like sitting on my computer and I'm not playing PoE, my hands automatically go to like 1, 2, 3, 4 spacebar, and then R. It's just like it used to be WASD, but now it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4 spacebar, and I'm just there like already ready to flask up, like while I'm using Google Chrome.
I do that in every other time I go into another ARPG too. Every time I go into another ARPG, 1, 2, 3, 4 space. My hand will just sit there, and I'll walk out to start killing stuff, and I'll just hit all of them. Like my whole hand will be like, and then weird shit will happen because I'm in another game, and like spacebar does a thing, and there'll be like abilities and shit on numbers that I don't normally, and just weird stuff up. But what the hell's going? Oh right, not PoE. Don't need to just piano every 4 seconds for no reason.
Did you rebind all your controls in Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to. I didn't have a choice.
Actually, that seems pretty smart, ASDG. But G, no, I wouldn't have G. I would still have spacebar. But it seems like more natural, actually, because your hands are not as spread. Yeah, I might actually try that. ASDF spacebar. So then your hand is like less like spread, right? It's more like that rather than this. Seems pretty smart.
Back in the comfortable. You'd have to get used to going up for your extra abilities though, rather than going
true.
down.
Yeah,
that would be.
Or maybe I would just set like
I could very easily trigger you. Well, maybe not.
instead of
Just use your right hand for your flask instead of your left hand.
Yikes, dude. Just use flask pedals.
What? Just use, because it's your primary hand and flasks are really important. So you should be focusing all of your dexterity on using the flask buttons with your right hand, right?
Where did your mouse? Are you like left-handed? Where would your mouse go?
No, I just use West, and I need the skills to be my main hand, and the mouse. Fuck the mouse. The mouse goes to left hand. Needs accuracy. Try it. Super easy.
Well,
No,
my mouse doesn't even work on the left hand.
Oh,
It's like
get an ambidextrous
my
mouse. Because then once your left hand falls off from using the mouse too much, you can just swap hands and play like the other way around.
Dude, I can't even like my left hand is literally like retarded. Yeah.
Anyone seen The
can't do
Princess
anything
Bride? I'm like that except with keyboards. No?
No, I haven't.
No.
You haven't seen that? Come on, guys. That's a classic movie. Go watch it.
I don't watch classics.
It's not a classic.
The modern, the
it's
modern
really gory
cultural
and
vandalism that we get nowadays.
you'll love it. It's got giant rats in it. If you played RuneScape, you'll love that movie. Nothing? It's got Andre the Giant in it. If you love giants, you'll love that movie. No? Oh, shit.
Did you say Andrew the Giant?
Andrew. Yeah, I said Andrew the Giant. The world famous giant named Andrew. What other giant is there?
What? I completely understood something else, like something completely different. That I was like, I was really confused for a moment. It's all good.
You know Trevor the Rock Johnson?
I'll definitely put it onto my list.
Oh, I know Andrew the Giant. Yeah.
Oh, now you know who Andrew. Come on, there's only one guy that's known by name the Giant. It's not Andrew. I'll give you a hint.
Isn't it that
Do you not know?
from,
Oh my god!
Game of Thrones now?
I got absolutely nothing here.
You have no idea.
I have no idea what we're talking about. I thought we were on a Path of Exile
Dwayne
podcast.
the Rock Johnson. This is a guy that's not Andrew the Giant, but it's. How can you not know? Whatever. Move. Segue out of this. I dare you.
I typed in the Giant and it didn't.
Yeah,
help.
It didn't. The Giant. Space Princess Bride. Come on. My god. Okay, this is what it's like when you guys are talking PoE builds. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is happening? And you're sitting here like, what the fuck is Andrew?
Well, it says Andre.
It's Andre. That's what I fucking said. It's not Andrew. It's Andre. Of course, it's Andre the Giant. You don't know who the fucking giant is?
I wrote Andrew.
You're cutting out there.
God.
Yeah, even your mic is molding.
You don't know who Andrew. Oh my god. Whatever.
I'll know it next time.
You got homework. Watch that movie. Come back.
Definitely.
All right.
Is there anything that you want to particularly address in regards to your hype for the Delirium that went unmentioned? Because I think we've pretty much worked our way through the topic list. Maybe someone wants to draw a conclusion and like say some consolating nice words.
Yeah, I'm really happy that the leagues finally got some kind of like resolution to it. I think that's one thing that's been missing since Synthesis, where like there might actually be some end game, like, oh, we actually get to fight the guy that's causing the Delirium or some shit.
Oh, all right, we can speculate about what do you think the simulacrum is?
Lion eyes, but with more gray.
I really hope the simulacrum is just like a really well designed boss fight, because Cyrus left that itch. Because Cyrus, as we know, like, it's kind of like a scuffed boss, and I feel like they should go back to like letting us actually hit the boss rather than just waiting for him. And I hope that we're gonna get a boss like that here in Delirium.
I don't know specifically about the actual boss fight, but what I do know is that if you haven't seen it yet, Kitten Cat Noodle did a short lore video on what she thinks the endgame boss of this next league is going to be, and why. And it is fantastic. And now I can't think it's going to be anything except what she says it's going to be. It makes too much sense. She had way too much to back it up.
Don't say what it is.
No, I'm not going to say what it is.
Is it the thing about the guy that tricked the twins into killing each other, or is it something?
Yes.
Else? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen that video, I highly suggest. It's only like a 3 or 4 minute video, but I believe she figured it out because she did all of the like entire lore for like all 10 acts and then on. And so she already knew quite a lot because she'd done a bunch of research on it. And then when this came out, she was like, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. And then did a video on what it is. And it makes too much sense. I can't see it being anything else.
Go check it out. I'm gonna link it in chat probably for people that are wondering what this is. So
yeah,
cat.
We marvel now.
Cat new lore.
There it is.
Oh yeah, final boss of Delirium, PoE theory. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna link it in chat for the boys.
Oh, I just linked it.
My man.
Yeah, it's there.
What color is dusk?
Dusk is like
usually brown
beige,
or is it gray?
It's like a beige color.
What color is beige?
It's like kind of like. Wait, actually, no. Dusk is like. Wait.
What time of the day what does the fog set in typically? Is that the afternoon or is that like in the early mornings between like
early morning, I think.
the nighttime and the daytime?
Early morning.
Early morning. Fog. Okay. When the fog rolls in. Got it. Just making sure.
The dusk color palette is like varied actually. It's just like when the sun's going down. That's dusk.
Is it gray? Is that when dusk is, or is it the?
I mean, there is
morning?
a form of gray in it.
Okay. It's gray. Got it. Just making sure.
But yeah,
I don't know what beige is. Just fucking throwing words out there. That's fake.
I just googled dusk color.
Appreciate it.
I'm relatively happy that there's going to be an ending. I do want to point out that I'm pretty sure Blight had an ending that never made it in.
Yeah.
We're all pretty sure of that, right? Like all the voice lines allude to like, "Ooh, what's the big thing that's causing all this blight?" And then we just never get a resolution at all. And then blight gets added into the main game, and we still don't have whatever that resolution was.
Well, they're doing what they did previously with bestiary and shit. Where they're like, "Lol, we put that stuff in, and you bet you forgot about it. Now that the new masters, big Blight League coming out, Blight 2.0." You know when they said that, Nico?
What you're trying to say is that they implement content and then they don't update it,
and then they're like,
just lingers in the game.
And then once PoE 2.0 is out, they're like, "Oh, make a quick expansion and make it better." Sorry, go ahead. I'm going to stop cutting you off. I'm not going to.
I really hope they actually work on like making new and like not new, but like it just improved old content rather than just always like, oh, now you get another master, and now you get another master. It's like, what about like if they just gave us like, I don't know, like a much more improved version and bigger Legion or Blight.
If they improve it, then they can't take it back because the league's supposed to be all like trial and error. You're just testing this, and then we're going to implement it to the core game. If they improve something in the same way they'll improve a league, they can't do the takebacksies like with if they put an auction house in one league and being like, "Hey guys, just trying out this auction house. Oh, we didn't really like it," and they take it away and everyone riots. If they go, "Hey guys, we're just gonna buff Breach and see how it is," and everyone goes, "Oh, this is really good," and they're like, "No, we don't like it. We're gonna put it back to shit Breach." People are gonna burn down New Zealand probably. So they probably won't. They'll just keep doing like, Breach 3.0, it's not Breach, but now it's Breach, except the whole map is Breach, and instead of red, it's gray.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
This
and
looks
could also
way better than Breach, though.
Yeah.
It looks
like it interacts with old content. That's the big turning factor. If you walk into an Alva temple, it follows you in, and
it's almost like having like 4 free sextants. That's what it looks like to me. Just like,
it's
you get like 4
disappointing that you get a 10% chance at Cheola. It's just Cheola every time, and he's in the whole map. And you collect the splinters, and then he beats the shit out of you at the end. It's probably just the last boss fight is probably just every single type of elemental damage, including chaos.
Watch
chaos is not an element, SlipperyJim8.
Every single type of element damage, also chaos, throw some physical in there just to fuck everyone else.
Pog.
Oxford, don't have to say and, right? I don't know.
Oxford, goes with and, though.
Cambridge, doesn't give a fuck about and.
Doesn't give a fuck. Cambridge, badass, dude.
Well, I, for one, find it amazing that they go back to like a little bit scarier, a little bit more mysterious design. I don't know, Breach was like very comic-y, and like all the past leagues were a little bit, I don't know, like not really super scary. This, I think the first time since Synthesis or Delve. Synthesis was also a little bit silly with the voice lines. But like I think Delve, when it was announced, I thought, oh, this is gonna be great because it's gonna be scary. But then the darkness turned out to be a joke and completely trivializable. And then that took a lot away from what I personally expected from the trailer, because the trailer's, oh, darkness is gonna eat you alive and all of that.
They fixed that though, to be fair. Ish. Like the darkness is like you can't really mitigate it that much anymore.
In deeper delves,
hauling ass.
Well,
caps out, or I don't know. It's pretty mitigatable.
Like, base damage now. That was their fix. They just added base damage to it, and it's like not like some gimmicky percent thing. But you can still get like pretty high stacks of it. But eventually, you're gonna die no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like the average Delve experience, you'll always have your darkness resist capped, and it will not matter that much for going to the side, and you can just throw a flare and it shakes you off, shakes it off. I was expecting it to be, from how it was marketed, I was expecting it to be much more scary. But with this one again, I'm very hopeful that Metamorph scary?
Or is it not scary because you can access the hardest part of it practically immediately?
I mean, the hardest part of this is probably the Simulacrum, or like the highest tier maps with the influence on. And you can, there's the different...
I mean the green one we're currently in.
Metamorph, right?
Wait, so what was the question? Can you rephrase it again?
Well, like, you like the concept of the darkness being an all-powerful, scary thing to be feared, but Metamorph is one-shotting 80% of the player base right now. Do you not enjoy the fact that you're experiencing the hard part of the league so quickly?
Metamorph is different. Metamorph is very knowledge-based. Like, you have to know the abilities of the monsters that you put in, and you have to know how high you can go on the damage. And if you don't have, like, super scary map mods, honestly... I mean, on the Juggernaut, I have yet to die to a Metamorph in tier 14, 15 maps. Tier 16, I almost died a couple of times to Metamorphs because they get insane.
You want a slow burn scare?
More like a game of attrition.
Yeah, like you enter the map and every minute you're in the map, one of your items gets randomly corrupted.
Or just like I sort of agree with that. Like, but that's kind of also why I like Delve. But I was also like slightly disappointed by, like, when I saw the Delve trailer, I thought we were actually gonna be able to like proper explore and like find some interesting stuff. But like as it turns out, like exploring like in Delve is like very, like, you shouldn't do that if you're trying to min-max Delve. You should just go deep. And there's only like one way to play it now, in like many people's eyes, or you just reset one long road and not break any walls and just pick up fossils or something. But like, there's no like real like, I'm gonna explore and find a secret chamber or some shit, like where there's some like cool stuff. Like, they're always really scared about giving rewards, because in a game like this, like, you can just exploit those rewards so easily. Which, like, there's such a conflict.
Delve is fairly rewarding though.
Yeah, for sure. But in the sense that, like, maybe like if you do go exploring to some extent, like you might find like a secret room or something that gives you like some crazy loot. Or,
some insane things that are potentially off path. Yeah, that, I mean,
you want some spooky lore, hidden rooms. You want some fishing secrets. That's what you want. I'll hook you up with a great Discord.
It hooks back into the discussion of like, or like the topic of what we just brought up with, you know, update existing content, because that has so much potential to have new types of nodes added and new types of, you know, secret hidden things, maybe things that are even like hidden, like nodes that are not even shown on the map, just like the ones that are not connected where you have to find the wall, but like actually have those being hidden, not the ones that we have, but like new ones that, so you have to kind of, just, you can always find some.
I just feel like GGG feel rushed a lot of the time, and some of the things that are implemented so like in a half-assed manner, like, oh, we just add Legion to Delve, and you're never gonna do it because it doesn't give you anything. And it's like, I don't know, they could do so many cool things with like just expanding upon old concepts, but They never really. They just
They
always go
won't,
for
'cause it's
the
the
new,
same
the
type
new,
of,
the
like,
new, the new, the new.
take
It's not
take a
good
league off
for
and do quality of life
marketing
or
either.
something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
at this point,
like-
I feel like we're just in still like every league from now on. It's just gonna feel like 2.0 waiting room, and then 2.0 is gonna be like the big like, here we go game. You know?
That was always going to happen as soon as we found out about 2.0.
Yeah, for sure.
Boat league.
PoE
hype.
2. Like it
Right,
just,
yeah, I keep
it
seeing
plays
2.0
so
holy
much
moly.
better. Like it played so good at the actual event. Like
Zombies was
imagine.
shit.
everything between
Necro
here and
nerf
now.
coming soon.
Everything between here and then is still PoE 2 waiting room, but it's
Yeah.
okay because I still enjoy it, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, I like no matter what, like I don't really care about PoE 2 until it comes. Like, and I'm just so invested in the game, like as it is right now, that I want it to be good
I
now.
shouldn't have clicked
Still,
on the mic.
just
Sorry.
as much as I want it to be good later. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. There's one thing that really resonated with me with the ADC talk with Chris Wilson. It's like we want to create a game that you can waste your 20s into, and it was like
It was GDC. ADC is something else.
Right, the GDC, and I'm like, big. That's exactly what I need, sir. I need to
What
waste my
20s?
life.
Like, oh, your life or your money?
Like my life, dude.
Your
All right,
vending machine.
I'm poor. Don't take my money.
Life.
I'm like,
Yeah, they can't have any more of my money. I don't have any more money, but they can have all of my time.
yep, true that, dude. Yo, maybe I can make other people spend money. You hear that, GG? Yo, sponsor me, dude.
Weren't they gonna do some sort of like referral link MTX thing? Was that something that meant? Nah, don't worry about it.
Nah.
It said something along the
Something
lines
like-
of
it
a
was
creator
like
code
some
possibly
overlay for Twitch that's like, if you want to buy the MTX that Ziz is wearing right now, you want this blue hat, or just
Support
click
the
this link here and you
streamer.
can buy it in the
Yeah.
store, and Ziz will get a kickback or something like that.
Or just let
don't
viewers
think
buy you
that'll ever
MTX,
happen.
dude. That would be pog.
That was like a one-off comment of something. You know, like your guy who told you fishing secrets, who was like definitely a totally reliable source.
Well, no, but they
Sure.
actually said that in a talk. I think where they said like we might do referral, but that's like the thing. Whenever they have those talks, it's like that's not a priority, but we might look into
Yeah.
it. It's always like such a like non-answer to some extent, but it does give you hope. It does give you hope.
For MTXs sales.
Hope that they might have it in the future, like that they're not against it at least. You know. They're not shutting you
Yeah.
out, so they're giving you a little glimmer of hope to some extent.
That sort of thing just doesn't. Like if it happened, great, but that's not
Yeah. Not something you would
important to
expect.
me.
But it doesn't matter anyways. It's such a like streamer privilege thing.
Yeah,
Like,
this
whatever.
just doesn't.
I want the game to be good before anything like that ever is
Yeah.
a priority, if you know what I mean.
You
Like, I
just
don't
want PoE
care
2.
about it. Nah, man. I really don't care. I just want like a fulfilling experience, and I want synthesis back.
Well, that's not going to happen. You'll get
Uh,
Synthesis 2 through this 9 months from now.
Yeah, just give me the synthesizer back. It's fine.
Except
And,
it'll be like
Delirium
Delve,
Nexus.
and you go in and the rooms are all predetermined, and you have to navigate yourself. Delve
I mean, that's-
Synthesis Hybrid. Except you
Oh.
can't do it because you have to do maps to get Synthesis Juice. You can only get 2,000 Synthesis Juice before you can go do some synthesizing.
I mean,
You have
give
to
me
kill
scarabs,
certain
dude.
synthesis beasts and do the synthesis beast recipe to get the synthesis keys to get the juice to unlock the thing and do the. It'd be worth it though. Those crafting bases, they're totally worth it.
Yep.
And the RNG boss spawns. I could shit talk for ages. Give me a segue. I'll go on. What do you got?
All right. Before we close up the podcast for tonight, because we're just about above the 2-hour mark, let's look at the post by GGG that was like
Brand new one.
brand new 2 hours ago.
Oh shit!
But we're talking about a large cluster jewel here. I'm gonna link it in chat. A rare cluster jewel. The enchant says adds 10 passive skills. Small passive skills grant 12% attack damage while dual wielding each, and then it adds 5 total passive skills. Insane. We've seen that for the first. I haven't seen 2 passive skills or jewel sockets yet, I think.
No, that was the thing.
Yeah, we have.
By itself.
Have we? By
Yeah,
itself?
you can get 3.
Wow.
That's
Well, you
what
can
I've
get
seen.
3 on the unique one. The unique one has 3.
Well,
With one
you
useless.
you could assume you could get up to 5, assuming if rare jewels go up to 5.
Well, anyway, we apparently see also 3 new notables on here that we haven't seen yet. So, Mage Bane, plus 5% chance to block spell damage while dual wielding. Attack skills deal 20% increased damage while dual wielding. And a 20% chance to gain a power charge when you block.
That was decent.
It's really good. The main thing I'm looking at is quick and deadly. They're kind of like, there's such a like drawback to these though. Like 2
Yeah.
different types of weapons. Like you either focus on swords or like who's gonna use
Dual wield Varanastra.
The only
totally
way that
makes
quick and deadly one is useful is if there's a few of them, and that's how you stack your damage. And you
right?
don't take any of the weapon type nodes on the tree.
Yeah.
You just take.
Wait, if you
dual-wield
use 2
generic nodes.
Varanastra, they're 2 times the same weapon types because they're all weapon types,
Yep.
right? It wouldn't work
I
with
would
2
think so.
Varanastra.
I would think that it wouldn't work with that at all. We've never had a node like that, so I don't know, but I suspect it won't. But yeah, that quick and deadly, basically, if that's the only one you get, it's functionally useless because that's not enough damage scaling to warrant
Who
using
would
2
ever
different
use
kinds.
Varanastra over Nice Foil?
Oh, Bex confirmed already that it works with Varanastra, okay. That's so odd, though.
Yeah, I
It's got
still
like low
wouldn't-
APS. It doesn't have much weapon range and it has low fizz
Yeah.
damage. So it's like, why
If-
use this?
It would be very interesting if you get enough of them or that and other passives similar to it to build.
Yeah,
your
there is
damage out
other
in that side
passives.
area. Then that would be great, but you would have to be building out for them. Like that's where your damage would have to be coming from these cluster jewels. And if it did,
Yeah,
it could be really good because that's a lot of damage from one. Like that's a really good notable.
that
There's
is.
If you were
no-
scaling damage that way.
Is there still different weapon type, more than one weapon type nodes on the tree? They're not gone, right? So they would only be on the cluster jewels. We've also seen a cluster jewel that gave increased damage to axe attacks and sword attacks. So that would apply twice to Varanastra.
I mean, I'd still just use an axe and a sword in that case. Could make a really good foil and a really good axe and just not use
Yeah.
Varanastra.
Then you'd have to pick up like just generic damage on the tree and then fill
Yeah.
the rest out with these jewels.
Yeah,
I don't
Just
know. Man.
dual wield nodes. It could be worth it, but
Again, this
we need a
cuts,
full list, really. Like
wanders,
it,
man. There'll be such
you
a
can't have
lot
2
of
different weapon types.
No, yeah. What are you gonna do with that?
Nah, there's
Unless-
going to be some good one nodes. We just haven't seen them yet. There's 280. There's going to be a good thing for everything.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so.
With really low weighting.
Well, if you
Always
look at it
helps.
again, we've got a enchant on the jewel of small passive grant gain attack damage while dual
Yeah,
wielding,
And they're
and
all
everything in the jewel is dual wield related.
It's true.
Almost everything. So there's still a node, the freeze, shock, and ignite one, that isn't related to dual wielding specifically, which is why I think it's still possible for them to roll off things,
Yeah.
but
on the
heavily
right.
weighted into the enchant. Like just like every other one, it looks heavily and weighted to the enchants. So it should be good. I don't know.
The
I don't know, I
question,
just wanna
we
see the
don't
list.
know it though. We don't know for sure. Like, I mean, it would also not make sense for them to show us oddball jewels that you wouldn't be using practically.
Yeah,
That
they
just
use
rolled
cheat codes to
incompatible
spawn them
stuff.
in.
Obviously, they're showing us stuff that has somewhat synergistic
Yeah.
aspects.
Just message Bex and ask for like a gif of her chaos spamming 500 into a thing, and don't give us what they actually do. Just give us the names, and you can
Yeah.
just
And
guess.
then you get a
see.
gif of Danny DeVito making a silly face instead.
Yes, that she googled instead of making.
What do you wanted to do? Make Danny DeVito's face?
What?
What?
I could make a
What?
gif of your face right now. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Hold still. No, don't hold still. You gotta move. It's a GIF. Come on, it's gonna be a.
He said hold still.
No, I meant
Held
still.
still.
So I could get the framing. There we go. Where am I shit posting this GIF?
Yeah. All right. So, that's probably the least exciting one that I've seen so far, except in the fact that now we know 2 passive skills are duels, can be one line, which we didn't know before.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
That's the one exciting part. We've seen 2 passive skills are duels, but on that duel it was a 3-slot one, and the assumption was made, at least by me, that it was 2 different lines rolled into one, and that each affix was giving you 1 dual socket. Now we know we can get 2 passive skills are dual sockets as a single mod. And so that's the most interesting part of that duel. I suspect that's as many notable / dual sockets that you can possibly get, though, because I don't imagine any of them will be 2 added passive skills are Mage Bane. Like, that would be weird, right? So I suspect the best you can get is 3 notables and 2 passives.
Well, did they already comment on that? You can get the same notable twice, right? Or can you not?
You can stack notables.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on separate jewels, obviously one jewel cannot roll the same notable twice. But then
I suspect, you could go out to different ones and have the same notable in every one, which should be interesting. But I don't know. I just need the full list before. There's nothing else to do except wait for the full list. I need the full list.
I'm surprised that we managed to talk that much with that little information that we got. I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of exciting reveals in Tarky-Cat's podcast later on. A couple of hours, probably.
It's like 10 hours or something?
8 a.m. UK time, I think, or so 9 a.m. for us.
So you've got a current off the press duel that's now, whenever someone's watching this, 12 hours old. High quality. Breaking news, we're unveiling this new jewel that's in the past and is irrelevant now. It was good. It was worth it. There's a peacock at my door.
I mean, literally anything that you could be talking about in a video is in the past.
No. You just got to predict it. Man, those necromancer nerfs. Who? It's Wednesday when you're watching this, and those necromancer nerfs. What a pity. Am I right?
Yeah, and then it gets buffed. Yeah.
Go on, do your prediction. Come on. You got to call out someone's name specifically. Talking to you, David. Your necromancer, 30% chance that he was playing necromancer. Your necromancer's dead, David. Now your turn. Go on. Go on. Everyone gets one free show. You'll blow someone's mind. Do it.
What?
Think of a card, any card. 7 hearts. Boom! I blew someone's mind because there's going to be at least like
I think like 60% or so. More than 60%.
2% of the people here just got their mind blown. I didn't give them enough time. New card.
Don't most
7 of hearts.
Okay.
You thought you could trick me, but I did it again.
People take the King of Hearts or the Ace of Spades usually when they're asked for a card, right?
Nah, that's people who don't know how. Fucking my brain. I haven't slept, man. Come on. What do you want from me? Come on, do it. Come on, make yourself quirky. Pick a random name, call them out, tell them their build is shit. What a pity it got nerfed. Then name a card. One of these things is going to hit, and you're going to blow someone's mind. Do it.
You're going to pass on all of those.
Do it.
Pass on all of them.
We're actually over time. It's a very fun idea for other time. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. It was a wonderful pleasure. We had a great discussion round. This is going to be uploaded to BalorMage's YouTube in full. And if I manage to do some highlights, I'm going to be able to squeeze them onto my YouTube and link it up so that you can find each other's video like that. Yep. And we have another podcast lined up in 2 weeks' time. That should be the Faded Connections episode number 25, which will be the Saturday of the 21st March.
Yep.
Unless, of course, you're in Australia, like Balor, or in New Zealand, and in that time zone, it would be the Sunday.
Don't tell anyone. but I showed up 24 hours ago thinking it was then because I read the date wrong. I'm glad you're giving out the dates. I was like, oh shit, it's not today. Oh, I can go to sleep. Fucking time zones, man. Time zones are shit.
Oh, that's
that's why I list the times in the chat conversation with 4 different time
weekends. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I'm also gonna try and get this onto the other platforms so you guys can listen to it on the way, and of course we're gonna announce it. So, was there anything we wanted to cover? No.
No.
Say goodbye. Wave into the camera. Bye bye. Thanks. Oh no, guys, plug yourselves. You guys, where can you find Crouching Tuna? Crouching
you can
Tuna.
Find me on bringbackcartographyseals.gg.com.
I'm gonna buy that domain and redirect it to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch /crouching_tuna. So I'll be there. I stream and I play games. PoE. Well, I play game.
I play game.
Wait, did you say you don't play any games? Path of Exile is not a game. It's war.
It's life.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And what's the next 100 map loot video that we're gonna see, or which variation of the dancing duo build are you gonna play next, Slippery Jim?
I'm not playing Flicker Strike. I've said it 3 times. Playing Flicker Strike. I'm gonna try and make something that's like I've always gotten a build just good enough. I've never gotten a build just print exalts and put them inside it. So I'm gonna try that, but yeah, see how that goes. No content from me this league. No content at all. Flicker Strike only. No one likes Flicker Strike. Don't come watch. It's Flicker Strike.
So we're not doing
10,000
of a particular map.
I was thinking about it. If the league was going to be shit like Metamorph, I mean like shit for like loot drops. You know how like you step into Delirium and it's like, wow, so much and stuff that's really good. That's going to really fuck with like burial chambers comparisons between how much they nerfed it to it is now. So if they bring out a league and it's like I can easily ignore the mechanics and farm another 10,000 burial chambers, I'll totally do it. But not this league, next league.
Something wrong.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Octavian0.
Oh, so you're the guy with the pie in the face?
I look just like him. He's my brother. He's in the next room. I'm serious, we're twins.
Play 1,000 lava chambers, I dare you.
Tuna's like, is he actually? It looks
I've made up my mind. I'm not giving you my address.
Do it. No. I'll find you. I'll go around with an air horn while you're streaming. Like those guys with that fire flag. It's possible. You can't. You're going to be paranoid every time you hear a car horn from now on. No, seriously, come on, give me your address. I'll show up. I'll show up today. Are you streaming today? I haven't slept yet, so I'm in the perfect mood to travel in some stranger's car. I'll do it. Give me your address. I will literally show up to your stream.
I think he's gonna hitchhike.
Half an hour. Come on, do it. I will totally do it. Because last time, okay, that's not a Twitch safe story, but last time I met strangers on the internet. You know what your parents say when you say, oh, I'm going to meet strangers on the internet, and they'd say, as long as they're not breaking the law in a very specific way because they're meeting children online. And I'm like, no, Mom, that couldn't be it. They were. He's in jail now.
Yo.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cut that bit out of the YouTube.
Sounds awesome. You can find BalorMage on youtube.com/BalorMage, BalorMage everywhere. You can find myself on Catmaster OP everywhere. And if you see someone in the streets who looks like Slippery Jim,
don't look for
ignore him. Don't
Run
talk
away.
to him. Just
you cross the other side of the street.
Cross the street to avoid him.
Seriously though, Balor, come on, give me your address. I will show up to your stream. That'll be literally if Catmaster hosts you after this stream, they will watch purely to wait for me to show up at your house. I'll just walk into I'll get a slushie, 7-Eleven, I'll rock up, I'll just say hey, and then I'll leave. I won't even bother you. I want to do it. Come on, that'd be so funny. You know you want to.
Okay.
Because then
that's it.
Gamer for Life can clip this bit, and then he'll do the
have a wonderful week, guys.
Later, and then I'll be in your webcam. You know you want to.
I'm out.
You know you want to. You know you want to. Well, you wouldn't even call out David in a card. Of course, you're gonna give me. Because you're not cool, Balor. You're not cool. I'm gonna go get burgers. You know where. You're not invited. Sorry, that's too many in references.
Do you have good burgers over there?
Oh, that's so... Balor said they were shit.
He brought me to a really good burger place.
They're really good.
The one time we met, I'd never been there before. They're really good.
They're really good. If Balor doesn't give me his address, I'm going to this fucking burger place just to take a selfie with me flipping him off, and I'm gonna tweet it at him, even though I don't use Twitter.
When
Follow me on
the
Twitter,
Uber Eats,
SlipperyJim8. I don't use it.
When the Uber Eats guy goes into that restaurant, those burgers, they're mine. I'm ordering those.
Don't you fucking dare. I will tell him not to. Oh, actually, no. Do it. I'll follow every Uber driver.
No, that's a terrible plan. Shit, I can't do Uber Eats. Oh, no.
Seriously, though. Just give me your address. Come on. Not now, but like later. I'll show up. You know you want to. I'll wear this dressing gown. I'll take an Uber in a dressing gown. They won't think I'm a psychopath.
How about you take off that dressing gown?
I'm cutting the YouTube way before this point.
We're cutting the YouTube where
like back then.
I'm ripping this stream. I'm uploading this whole thing. The people need to know the truth.
Just after
Balor
you can find Balor here, you can find me here. That's it. That's the end.
Just hard cut.